Mm. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's happening? What it do? What it do? Family? What it do? I can't help y'all with the sisters, man. Sisters gonna do what they do, man. I can't help y'all with the sisters, man. Sisters gonna sister. Yeah, man. We out here. We out here. Nah, that ain't no grape drink. That's water, man. I drink water, man. I drink water, man. Water is my beverage of choice. Down my heart. Yeah, yeah. Do you have the time? Am I the only homeboy that's on your mind? You have got my heart. I'm so in love. You're the only girl I'm thinking of. Oh, down my baby on the phone. Got to get a message just to let her know that if she ever feels alone, to dial my heart. Yeah, I finished the next single, man. The next single is done. I just I just gotta figure out a release date. I'm thinking towards the end of January. Cause they gotta get the album cover, gotta get a video done for it. And those things take a little bit of time. So the next single is done. And I'm in the process of getting that first single remixed, man. I got a guy, he can, because the production on the first single was good, but the mastering and mixing was terrible. So I got a guy that can master and mix. And the way he mixes and masters, he makes he brings your songs to life. A good mix and master is like gold, man. It's like a car wash. It's like getting your car washed, man. And detailed. It's like getting your car detailed, man. Good mix and master, man. Get the levels right. Make it radio ready. That's was the problem with the first single. It wasn't radio ready. It was just, you know, I think the song was great, but the mixing and the mastering, there was no mixing and mastering. So I think once I do that, I'm gonna re-release that as a single, the remix. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Salute to everybody. And if you want to check out my single, man, make sure you should go over to um Ock Nation Productions. Links in the description. If you want to check out my latest single, man, you go over to Ock Nation Productions, man. I put the link in the description box for y'all though. Even though I want to remix it and have it mastered and mixed, you can still go listen to that. I don't have a problem with y'all go and listen to this shit, man. Um, I don't have a problem with that. I'm we gonna get into it, man, tonight, man. Darling, 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 down my heart, down my heart. I've been listening to a lot of old school music the last couple of days, man. I'm gonna listen to some good old school music the last couple of days, man. That's kind of where I get my most inspiration from, man. Old school music. I ain't really into the new stuff, man. I ain't really into the new stuff, man. Yeah, Tupac is my man. Yeah, Tupac is. I mean, when you talk about production, man, Tupac had all that Death Row production, man. He had. I mean, Tupac had a. I mean, what can you say, man? There really ain't nothing to say about Tupac. Tupac's the greatest, man. One of the greatest rappers to ever live. And it is what it is, man. I can't really I don't know what to say about Tupac, man. I ain't gonna get to his personal and shit he did as an artist, as a pure artist in the booth. I mean, second to none, man. Second to none. Second to none. As an artist in the booth, second to none. Nobody's better. It might be some guys that are just as good as him. There ain't nobody better, man. Yeah, remember all that shit? Tupac wasn't dead. People couldn't let him go. You know you great when they don't want to let you go, man. You know you great when they don't want to admit that you dead. That's the ultimate sign that you great. Uh yeah, we're gonna get into all that, man. Illinois. We're gonna get into all that, man. All of that, Jack. Um, all of that. I saved some stuff I'm gonna get into, man. Um, yeah, R.I.P. to Sinful to P, man. Damn, Sinful to P dead, man. Damn, Sinful to P kicked the bucket. Wow. I had a little stretch where I used to listen to Sinful to P all the time, man. Sinful to P kicked the bucket. Woo, man. Sinful to P did. Um, let's go ahead and get started, man. Let me drop the link, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the link now, man. Yeah, some men don't live long, man. They don't live long. 50, I think what he was 39. Sinful to P was 39, man. And it wasn't no foul play. He died of natural causes, man. He didn't die of no foul play. It was natural causes, man. That shit just fucked up, man. Some men 50 something. 50 is you make it to 50, man. You doing good, man. Shit. All them sudden men died, man, recently, man. R.I.P. to Sinful to P though, man. R.I.P. man. I ain't even gonna lie. I'd be lying if I said I ain't listen to Sinful to P, man. Every time somebody die, every time a rapper die, or you know what I'm saying, a rapper get indicted, I go over there and listen to his sermons, man. Because he broke it down. He broke it down wickedly. He was a master at breaking down the game, man. And I ain't talking about the pimp game. I mean, he's a real pimp. So I don't, what I'm saying, I wasn't there for the pimping, but it is what it is with the pimping too. Like that is what it is. But I was there for the breakdown of the hip hop game, the breakdown of celebrities and shit. Now, did I agree with everything he said? Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. But that dude was an excellent YouTuber, man. He was excellent at what he did, man. His YouTube game was wicked. His YouTube game was wicked. Oh man. Oh, shit. Wow, y'all sending me so much stuff, man. I don't even know where to start, man. It's crazy, man. I don't even know where to fucking start, man. Y'all send me so much stuff, man. It's like, damn, I don't even know where the fuck to start. Trying to get some of these boxes down. Okay, we got Stunner. Conundrum. Who are you, Conundrum?
How you doing, brother? I'm a long time listener. It's my first time calling in. I've always enjoyed your show. Always enjoyed your commentary, man.
Man, that's great.
Something. Can you hear me,
Yeah, man. Go ahead. The floor is yours, man.
man? Something that's come across my eyesight, man, about Chicago. The only other city I can compare to Chicago with the foolishness is New Orleans, man, and we are having a damn travesty down here, man.
Oh
It
yeah.
is. It is horrible.
So now you feel it on the streets because sometimes people say it's just like I met a white guy from Philly the other day, a few days ago.
Hmm.
My wife's friend's husband. So they came over and I was talking to him about Philly. He lives in West Philadelphia, Cedar Park. Anybody know about Cedar Park? I
I'm
don't know
familiar.
about.
I'm
Yeah,
from
but he
very.
lives. Huh?
I'm very familiar with it.
Oh, you know Cedar Park?
Yeah, that Umar Johnson grew up about 5 blocks from there.
So is Cedar Park a rough neighborhood?
Very rough neighborhood.
This white guy, this glider told me that he doesn't see any of the violence. He says he loves it over there. He loves his neighborhood. He loves everything about it, man. And he doesn't really see the violence. He says it's just on TV. And I was like, damn,
Well, he must be a part of the G unit. You know what the G unit is, huh?
what's that?
The gentrification unit.
Yeah, he's gentrified. Yeah, definitely. He been there 10 years. He only been there 10 years.
I mean, man, I grew up, and I currently have a place that I keep. I'm back and forth between New Orleans and Everett, Washington. I'm about 30 miles north of Seattle. My better half works for Boeing, so I'm kind of back and
Right?
forth. But I grew up in the Lower Ninth Ward, man. Have you ever heard of the rapper by the name of Mr. Magic? He and I lived in the same block.
You talking about fuck you other niggas because I'm down for my niggas. Fuck
Right,
them other niggas.
right. I'll drop another gem. Make a note of this. There's a gentleman by the name of Lynn Davis. Have you ever heard of that guy before?
No.
Lynn Davis is the person that Denzel Washington was patterned after for Training Day.
Oh wow.
Yes. And trust me when I tell you, Lynn Davis was 10 times worse than Denzel Washington ever played in that movie.
Oh wow. Damn.
We'll have to have a discussion about that one, man. But um, I made a post today, and it's very, very telling. Um, Shortly after seeing this 13-year-old that was killed by a white guy in somewhere up north.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard about this seeing that all over social media today.
Yeah, but did you see? Man, that 13-year-old got some very good gun handling skills. Did you see that video as well?
No, there's a video of the incident.
Yes, but no one wants to discuss that. You see, and that's the problem that we have. And the problem that we have is that we only discuss a portion of the narrative that that demonizes someone who may have been wrong.
For behavior, exalts us for our behavior.
Right. Basically, back into the hands up, don't shoot narrative. You know what I'm saying? I have learned through the Michael Brown incident that I'm not saying, excuse my language, I'm not saying shit until I've seen everything. And I'm not saying I'll be fair and balanced, but I'm not saying a damn thing until I've seen everything.
But the conundrum is that they make sure you don't see everything until 2 years later. And by that time, the lie has already traveled the world twice.
And no one cares. Here's the thing, though, about that stunner, though. I don't think some people, it matters with some people. The narrative is, the truth could be there the whole time. Look at Kyle. The truth could be like, that tape was readily available the next day, that Kyle Rittenhouse tape. And to this day, if I talk to any black person I know in the real world, they think he killed 3 black people. To this day.
One thing that's important, for the new guy's name, make sure that you do say, though, he didn't deserve to die. You got to say that.
Well, no, I'm not going to say that. You know, normally when a white person is jumping from building to building and he loses his footing and he kills himself, they'll always say that he died doing what he loved to do.
That's different, though. That's the gliders know better.
But this kid died doing what he loved to do. He loved shooting at people. So, you know, one thing I'll never do, and you can call me evil, I will never stand on somebody's right when I know they're damn wrong.
Respect.
Let me move along, man. Put that in the back chat, that video, if you got it, of the little kid.
Let me see. I don't know how to do it, but
put it in the back chat. It's the private chat.
I actually put it on my Facebook page. But I posted today, man, that it's amazing that in the hood we can identify the characteristics of a crackhead. We can identify the characteristics of a white supremacist, a rebel flag with a American flag hand back singing the Sweet Home Alabama. We can identify all of those things, but we can't identify the people who have the potential coming up in our households to be a robber or a killer.
Yeah, because I mean, listen, man, a lot of that stuff is that these people know, they know who these people are. They know this feigned ignorance and shit. I mean, come on, man. These moms know. Like, think about it, man. You're going to fucking school. He's suspended every fucking week. The guys I knew who grew up to be thugs, they were bad in the first grade, man. Salute to True Business, man. He says crack did not do it. 34 warned us. 35 gave up the business, gone. 36 a racist man. Signs the civil rights law. Coincidence? He talking about the presidents.
Right.
I'm trying to see how do I get this thing off of my page, man. Let me see.
Hold on. Go ahead, put it in the back chat. I'm about to move along, man.
But are you talking about the boy suspended? We know it's not the boy's fault. We know it's the school to prison pipeline. I'm being sarcastic, but they believe that.
Yeah, definitely. Let me. This is Toronto. Toronto.
The city of Toronto, Canada, is in shock after police say 8 teenage girls were involved in stabbing a man to death on the street. Reports say paramedics were flagged down by people on the street who witnessed the attack. The suspects were arrested nearby the crime scene, according to investigators, and range in age from 13 to 16.
There was a subsequent incident that happened after the homicide that police were called to assist with. As a result of that incident, we were then able to make the connect that these were the same group of people.
Police are investigating the case as a swarming attack and reportedly say they don't yet know how the suspects know each other, as they come from different parts of the city. The victim's identity is not being released until a next of kin can be notified, but police say he was a 59-year-old male. The suspects' identities are protected because of their ages. They are all charged with second-degree murder and were remanded to custody.
They're going. The girls are just meeting up, don't know each other. It's just social media shit. They don't know each other. They just meet up and go fucking jump on somebody.
All right, so I traveled to Canada back in 2016. And I was in these same areas that you see on TV. I was on those same streets, and I saw those teens, right? So it's crowds of teens all down the block, all in that. Like Toronto is like their NYC, right? So Toronto has a Times Square area too, right? So you got groups of teens, boys and girls, right? Hundreds of them. And they are between those ages, like 13 to like 20, right? They selling bud out there. They just posted up. They smoking bud out there. And I got a feeling that they were gang members. And that's how they clicking up, but they weren't really beefing with each other. But they out there. They been out there. This been a problem.
Wow.
But you know something, brother? We have the same thing in New Orleans around Bourbon Street. These guys are just standing on the corner, just smoking weed. I mean, and they're young. And they're starting off as these little kids that are either tap dancing or beating on these little cans in the middle of the street. That is the exact same issue we have in New Orleans. Exact.
Wow. That's crazy. Here we go. We're gonna warm it up before we get into Chicago, man. Salute to everybody, man. Make sure you hit the PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Salute to my man Aaron with the $1 Cash App, man. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Rest tonight in a deadly shooting near the USC campus. A security guard killed outside an apartment complex where many students live. Kickline's Rick Montanez is live in South LA tonight with the latest on the deadly attack. Rick.
And Jeff, the security company that hired that guard says this is a prime example of the dangers they face protecting homes and businesses. The deadly shooting happened. We want to show you here at the metro station near LA Trade Tech. This is at Flower and 23rd, just outside of this building, the Lorenzo, off-campus USC housing here. The shooting happened right outside these doors, and less than 24 hours later, word of that arrest. Bullet holes in the windows outside of the upscale student apartment building a half mile from the USC campus. Shattered glass, now boarded up.
We just heard like 7 gunshots. We weren't too sure what it was.
LAPD says the shooting happened just after midnight Wednesday. The unarmed, on-duty security guard, police say, was likely trying to stop someone from trespassing.
It's really...
Oh, shit. I mean, unarmed security guards in South Central. This is South Central, right? Or what part of LA is USC?
Yes, it's South Central.
Right across the street from the hood. I mean, it's literally Compton is literally a stone's throw.
And they're probably getting paid shit, Chief.
They just for everybody's knowledge, the reason why you don't hear anyone say South Central anymore is that they felt like that was a negative connotation. So they changed it to South, and also the demographics changed heavily, like in a very short period of time, from majority Black to majority Latino.
I guess that's why they changed all of the housing projects names in New Orleans, but people still killing each other. I mean, I guess. Man.
Yeah, there's no solution.
Just after midnight Wednesday, the unarmed, on-duty security guard, police say, was likely trying to stop someone from trespassing.
It's really sad to come here and, see this action, and then to know that this man doing his job.
In a statement, SecureNet Alliance said the deadly attack was unprovoked and unforgivable. We have a mental illness and drug addiction problem. Unless those who will harm themselves and others are identified and removed from our streets, many more innocent lives will be taken from us. Just after the shooting, LAPD took this man in for questioning.
Hombrito, man. Stand up, Wicked.
We'll take it, bro.
Pants pulled up. Look, the pants pulled up. You know that's an hombrito, man. He's short, little teeny little guy, man.
Just after the shooting, LAPD took this man in for questioning. More than 12 hours later, they announced the arrest of 31-year-old Alexander Crawford, the guard who died according to his.
Oh, that's glider. That's glider.
What's going on? What was that, Chief?
Alexander Crawford, the guard who died according to his company, leaves behind a 13-year-old daughter.
I feel very sorry for him and his family, especially this is Christmas time. This is a new year, and he didn't get to make it.
They should have had
The
her out
security
there. I
company
bet
said
she'll
it
beat
used the
your
camera
ass.
system to help LAPD track down the suspect. He was found sleeping in a parking area near the building's lobby, police say, and officers found him with a gun of the same caliber used in the deadly shooting.
Oh, shit.
That suspect now facing a charge for murder. In the meantime, the company that hired the security guard is trying to raise money to help cover funeral expenses and to provide for his surviving.
How did people get buried before GoFundMe, man? I forget.
How do homeless Dusties have iPod or earbuds in their ear?
Earbuds and a pistol.
This is America, that's why. Yo,
man.
that's the Mayo monkey if I ever saw one, Chief.
Yeah, man. Salute the Mayo, man.
We do have breaking news tonight. A community in the Bronx rocked by gunfire. Police say 4 men were shot tonight on East Tremont Avenue right around 6:30 this evening.
And we have learned one of those men has died. Pix 11's Katie Corrado joining us live now with the latest on this. Katie.
John Tamson, good evening. There are a lot of moving pieces to this. As you just mentioned, 4 men were shot, one of them killed. This is in the East Tremont section of the Bronx, and this is one of the 2 scenes that we are seeing in the neighborhood. This is the corner of East Tremont and Marmion Avenue, right outside of that gourmet deli. You notice that there are cones on the ground. Those are next to bullets. And you'll also notice that there are memorial candles out front. Those are from a separate deadly shooting that happened there on Monday. That's what those candles are for. The second scene is just a couple of
Those are from a separate deadly shooting that happened on
brand new candles.
Yo, there's another word for shot. What was the fucking word they used?
I think it was mass shooting, but I can't remember. Man.
I think it was mass shooting. I remember hearing that word.
I don't think if it was mass shooting.
Yeah, they you know that's another terminology they're trying to change, man, as a negative context, man.
If he was a glider, then yeah, mass shooting.
Yeah, definitely.
Deadly shooting that happened there on Monday. That's what those candles are for. The second scene is just a couple of blocks away at Marmion Avenue and East 179th Street. That entire area is also blocked off with a heavy police presence. Police tell us that the calls for these shootings came in around 6:30. They say the first victim, a 28-year-old male, was shot in the chest and pronounced dead at St. Barnabas Hospital at 7 p.m. The second victim is a 27-year-old man shot in the leg. The third, a 46-year-old man shot in the torso. And the fourth is a 25-year-old man shot in the arm. Those 3 victims are in stable condition and thankfully expected to survive. We talked to a man who witnessed the...
Thankfully, like, why is it thankfully? A lot of these guys are pieces of shit. This is trash taking out trash, man, a lot of times, man. But at the same time, man, we don't know that, but the majority of these shootings, man, is a lot of fucking, you know, like, especially when somebody comes spray the block. I bet this might have been retaliation for the shooting on Monday. You know what I'm saying?
As a rule of thumb, though, Chief, if there's a spot that's getting gunned up, maybe don't loiter there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they do that. It's just something like they're used to that. Like, they can't. I see that all the time, especially
or you might get shot then. I mean,
that's where they get their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That store right there.
Yeah, that's where they hang out at. That's their whole life centers. That's where people know to come find them. Like,
that's where they get their vegetables.
Yeah, that's where I be at, man. You know, that's where I be at.
The man behind the counter make their breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
The Mayor Lifer said this is where they get their vegetables, right? At the liquor store.
Yeah, man.
He literally said that on CNN or something.
Yeah, I bet that food's good though.
I seen the aftermath when I came through. There was somebody that was lifeless next to the Kennedy's chicken. It's crazy. I seen when they threw them on top of the stretcher. lifeless at that. So it's crazy. A lot of violence going on in the neighborhood.
I'm really not surprised this area is prone to gun violence. It's very dangerous to be walking around and just at any given moment a bullet could hit you when it's not meant for you.
This area is crazy. High traffic. A lot of people. It's pretty unsafe.
And the crime scene unit has just started to set up their equipment to take pictures of all of the evidence at this scene, catalog and document it before the evidence is picked up and the scene is cleared. We do not yet know the names of any of the victims, and police have not yet released a description of the suspects. But of course, this is a developing situation, and we will keep you posted as we learn more information. That is the very latest. We are live in the East.
Who's that? You gotta mute yourself, whoever it is, man.
Developing now, a man accused of human trafficking is captured and arrested.
Miami-Dade state of attorney making the announcement, and we are learning disturbing details about the case. Local 10's Leanne Motorhone is live with the details. Leanne.
So the state attorney's office hosted a news conference to announce this arrest. Let's show you who we're talking about. This is the alleged human trafficker. His name is Monrico Clemens, age 31. He is charged with human trafficking.
Monrico. What do you think about that name? I've never heard that one before. That's a new one for me, man.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
He's not American.
What is he?
Could be. Just maybe.
He might be like a Caribbean. That's a Caribbean name.
It is a Caribbean name, but just because it's a Caribbean name doesn't mean it can't be from here.
Monrico
yeah,
it's possible though.
Miquel. You know, down there in Florida, he may be first generation, like his parents from there, and he was born here.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he got that you know those damn Caribbeans, man. They got them strong faces, man, because they got that undiluted blood, man. They got them.
Is that monkeypox on that man's face?
Strong faces, man. Look like a LeBray or something.
And deriving proceeds from prostitution. Prosecutors say Clemens met his 23-year-old victim on Tinder in April and then brought her from Maryland to South Florida specifically for prostitution. He did appear before a bond court judge earlier today. He allegedly gave her drugs regularly, and when the victim lost her job at Chipotle, he told her that she should work as a prostitute to make money. He allegedly set up an online page for her and told her what to charge, but she didn't keep a cent. Clemens allegedly pocketed $20,000 worth of her earnings. Now, take a look at these photos because Clemens also goes by King Swoos when he performs as a rapper. He allegedly forced the victim to get his rap name.
King Swoos. King Swoos. What do you spell it? Swoos. King Swoos, man. I wonder what King Swoos's music sounds like.
Man, if you heard one, you heard them all, Chief.
I mean, you gotta give people the benefit of the doubt, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with judging people by, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like Gliders, man. That's what Gliders do, man.
He's probably the Christian rapper, you know, like gospel rap.
Yeah, Gliders be judging people by you know. I'm more of a I'm not like those racist gliders that just go around and judging us, man.
You're more compassionate because of the melanin, right?
There you go, man. How you know, man?
Nick Cannon told me, dog.
Okay. Nick letting the cat out the bag, man. I'm trying to let people know, man, that like, look, I can't help it. Like I tried not to be compassionate sometimes, but because of the melanin, it just overpowers it. Like even when I'm trying to be mean and thoughtless and careless, man, the compassion comes out, man.
I bet these some men, when they unload on a crowd, they feel terrible, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. All the time, man. It's just, listen, man, what can you do, man? I mean, look, you're just trying to be a good person, and this fucking gun just jumps into your hand and goes off. Let's see this. I want to see this guy's rap, man. King Swoop, he's a strong face motherfucker though, man. He got to be He got to be a fucking what you call it, African and shit. African blood, man.
This might be one of the first times I've ever seen someone get charged with human trafficking with one specific person. You know what I mean? Like usually it's like multiple women. You know what I mean? Like groups of women or tens of
He
women.
worked that hold on, man. He worked.
He did, but it sounded like just some basic around the way ass pimping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's some
But
shit I did. I mean, I think every Sunman that did this one, and if you just been around a little bit, a lot of I ain't gonna say every, but a lot of Sunmen have done that one.
I
You
mean,
know,
oddly enough, I know some men who've even been just randomly asked by women to take this role over.
oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt, without a doubt, without a doubt. Um, yeah, man. Salute to Rudy Bishop. He says I watch too much not to pay up, pony up. But this stuff is driving my chick, man. Yeah, salute to you, man. Appreciate you, Rudy Bishop, man, coming through, man.
Yo, that last line is interesting. Hit the link. We curious.
Yeah, man. Tell us about your girl, man. Hit the link. Link is in the description box, man.
Tattooed on her body. That's a picture of her skin there. Something prosecutors say is a way to brand their victims as property. Now, they were both in a car when she allegedly told Clemens that she wanted out of this whole thing. Prosecutors say that he then hit her and threatened to kill her. Listen to what they say she did next.
She jumped out of a moving car, risking injury or death because she could not think of a better way to avoid the beating that she alleged Clemens was giving her because she did not want to engage in prostitution anymore.
And that incident was crucial. It happened on November 14th on the Dolphin Expressway. And that, coupled with a desperate phone call that she made that same morning to her mother, letting her know the trouble she was in, helped get the ball rolling. Several agencies from Maryland to here in South Florida getting involved to help put this guy behind bars where he's at right now. The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office wants to remind you and everyone out there, if you or someone you know is being trafficked, they do have a hotline you can call. The number there is 305-FIX-STOP. That's 305-349-7867. More on this coming up in our next hour of news, but for now, reporting.
Yeah, man. They're cracking down on that shit, man. They're cracking down. A lot of brothers in trouble, man, if that's the case.
Police are investigating a deadly home invasion in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. 3 people were stabbed. One of them, a 61-year-old man, was killed. Christine Russo is live at the scene with the very latest. Christine.
Chris, police at this point in the investigation can't say a lot, but what I can tell you is it's still a very active crime scene here on 17th Avenue in Bensonhurst. Hours after this deadly home invasion, just behind me here, you can see this is the crime scene here. What we know right now is that 2 masked men came into the home here on 17th Avenue. It was at 1808 on 17th Avenue, and a 61-year-old man was stabbed to death just before 6 a.m. this morning. Police say they also stabbed a 19-year-old woman and a 22-year-old woman. Both were taken to nearby hospitals this morning, and their conditions, they're not clear at this time. Now, the medical examiner is still here on the scene, and crime scene tape was wrapped down the block. Detectives, they've been going door to door this morning across the street and around this neighborhood, trying to interview people, interview neighbors, and see if any of those ring cameras that are outside some of the homes here can be used in the investigation. Now, we spoke with a young man who lives on the block. He didn't want to be on camera, but he told me that he woke up to the screams this morning and he heard someone yell, "Let her go." Another man who knew the man who was killed said he was just a nice guy. People knew him here, and he'd never expect something like this to happen here. Others who did speak with us on camera say it's obviously a shocking thing because this neighborhood is usually very quiet.
It's really a lot of people gathering around, friendly. There's never a problem. So this is really a shocking news because nothing like that ever happened around here.
I was like shocked, because I work almost every day, and I didn't saw all these cars double park, when I came here, I saw all these cars, and I'm like, I saw all the police, and I was shocked.
Bunch of fucking foreigners, man. That means that
Yeah, Bensonhurst is like there's a lot of
Man, it's the
Russians.
whole damn.
Maybe it was the Ukrainian refugees that did that home invasion, Chief.
Yeah, who you think did it, Miss Berry?
I don't know. You never know. I got a story about Bensonhurst, but I don't know.
Maybe it was the Afghani refugees.
Gliders. Say that again.
Maybe it was the Afghani refugees.
It's possible. There's all kinds of people in New York now, but Bensonhurst is it's like Russian.
But if we're being honest, there's probably some there.
They've let so many people in to the country in such a short period of time. In these little enclaves, like with these Russians and these different groups, their ops are here now.
But Stunner, it wasn't them that did this, Stunner. You know
I know. I'm just speaking in general, though. Like all of those people who fled those areas to get away from ops, all of their ops are here now.
I gotta see it to believe.
But yeah, this is probably something.
Yeah, I gotta see it to believe it, Stunner.
I don't know if it was a Sunman. I hope you could find a video to tell us who did it. Who done it?
Now at 4:30, an update to a one and only exclusive. A man brutally beaten by a wanted murder suspect is one step closer in his long road to recovery. The victim was attacked by a stranger with a hammer earlier this month.
Weeks later, he's now finally back home from the hospital. He's speaking with Local 10's Rosh Lowe, who joins us live with one and only exclusive. Rosh.
We need hammer control.
We have been following this story every step of the way, and today a major update, an update that this family was praying for. Their loved one is now home.
Try to do the laundry. That's all I remember. I think one bad person came and hit me. So that's all I remember. Then after that, I was in the hospital. I don't know him. I just went to put my clothes in the laundry.
Remember this guy from Boston? When we did the story of Boston? This white guy, he's from Boston. He did that shit.
Oh yeah, he killed those two old people in Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is a bad white dude, man.
They look like Antifa.
He's like a real sweetheart, don't he?
Yeah, ghastly glider, man.
I just went to put my clothes in the laundry.
Rizvi Saleh is home, and it's incredible he can talk after being hit time and time again over the head with a hammer.
I'm a harmless guy. I do my work, and I'm a very good person.
He was brutally attacked in early December while doing laundry in his Miami Beach apartment.
All these things that we had, it like beautiful memories, stuff like that, in a second's change.
Christopher Keeley was wanted in Massachusetts for a double murder, but is now suspected in what can only be described as a vicious and disturbing attack. Keeley was extradited back to Boston December 20th to face the murder charges.
Everything is changed, like I used to work. I used to do a lot of activities. I'm a hard worker.
Now this 56-year-old is bound to a wheelchair, taking medication around the clock, cared for by his son.
I feel I lost everything in my life. Thank you.
Rizvi believes Keeley was hiding from authorities in the apartment's parking garage when he attacked.
I believe the God will punish him.
And he told me today this was completely unfair. This could have happened to anyone, and it really shows you this story. The fragility of life. He simply wanted to do his laundry when his life has now been changed forever. He is the sole provider for this family. He can't work. If you would like to help him and his family, please.
Man, shit is getting rough, man. It's rough. So this is the story I think that the guy was talking about.
Sounds like a hate crime, Chief.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's browner than me. That motherfucker.
Gladys offender.
A 13-year-old boy is gunned down in Columbus, Ohio, and the man who does the shooting says it's self-defense, and that's good enough.
I mean, like, is that really the story, or because when like just the way she's talking throws up red flags? You know what I'm saying?
Can you give us a little more?
The man said it was self-defense. And
To the
then
audience,
yeah,
to the people who watch this show, they hang on every word she's saying.
yeah. It's just sad that that's all it takes, man. The white guy shot him and said he told the cops it was self defense, and they were like, "All right, good old boy, go get out of here, go get you some rest, man." Like, really, like, is that how these things happen? Like,
It goes away. Let's tell you more about that case that happened in October 12th was the date, Columbus Hilltop neighborhood. Sinze Reed, a 13-year-old, fatally shot 36-year-old Craig Butler Sr. The shooter, an eyewitness who knows Butler, saw him exit a red truck and fire multiple times at Sinze.
He mean looking glider, man.
Yo, he looked like he with that with power shit.
Yeah, man, he just mean, man. He roving the streets looking for sunteens.
And the pickup truck with the
striking him
flag.
several times.
Yes, in the red pickup, he straight out of Central Casting, man. That is one mean looking white boy though.
Butler then got into his vehicle, fled the scene. Butler was previously convicted in Franklin County for misdemeanor domestic violence. And according to court records,
that's his only charge, misdemeanor domestic violence.
Oh yeah, and now somebody's record comes into play, right?
Yeah, exactly. Misdemeanor. What's up, Razzle? What's going on, man? This a mean looking glider here, man. Razzle, you there? I don't know, whatever. But
he'd be dropping hard R's left and right, chick.
Yeah, this is a real mean looking glider,
which under federal law would prohibit him from having a gun. But there he was, October 12th, in the neighborhood, shooting down, killing the 13-year-old. You see his picture there. Franklin County Prosecutor's Office previously filed a murder charge against Butler Sr. in Franklin County Municipal Court in connection with Sinze's death on the same day as the shooting. But a week later, prosecutors filed to dismiss the case. That was on October 19th. Franklin County Municipal Court Judge Mike McAllister accepted the motion and dismissed the case, meaning the $1 million bond Butler had been held on no longer applied. And Butler simply walked out of jail. He was released. Let's give you more background of why Butler was let go. Here's what we've learned. Columbus Police Homicide Detective Keith O'Connor said that there has been a claim of self-defense by Butler and his mother, but the detective declined to comment further, citing an ongoing police investigation. Again, the charges are dismissed already. Sinze's not a bad kid at all, Nicholas said.
So the kid's not a bad kid at all. And listen, man, that may be true, but it may not be true.
Well, let's look at the definition in the community of what a good kid is.
You ain't killed nobody.
Witnesses?
I gotta see his Facebook.
He said, so guy said he had what's the conundrum? Said he had a video. Did you put the video in the back chat, conundrum?
I posted it in the chat, actually. I tagged your name in it.
No, you got to put it in the back chat. I can't. The chat moves too fast.
I'm completely lost when it comes to back chat. I don't know what that
is. Chat. You on stream chat. You on stream.
Yeah, you're on StreamYard. Right? Click on chat. Put it in.
Click on private chat.
Let me see.
It's on the right of the screen. It's fucking easy.
It's on the right of the screen.
Yo, Chief, I gotta see his Facebook and then talk to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I bet I could almost guess what's on there. If I'm not mistaken, of course.
Salute to my man Catalyst, man. Salute to you, man. Catalyst in the building. Ock Nation Hall of Fame.
Hey, Wicked, you think it's full of glickies and switches?
Maybe not middle switches, fingers. But definitely glass.
Middle fingers and money and prop money.
Yes.
Phones.
Right, up and roll, sagging.
Definitely middle fingers.
Weed, middle fingers. You gotta have the middle finger. Maybe a gang sign, but I don't know. Because that picture they put up he looks like a good kid in that picture.
Yeah, he looks like a baby. I want to.
Yeah, he looks like he's 8 years old.
I was gonna say it looks like it was his third
in that
grade.
Picture, he looks normal, but you know how that goes.
Can you drop the StreamYard link again so I can I guess find out
what StreamYard though? You're on StreamYard.
Wait a
It's
You on your phone?
Yeah, you know how you mute? When you mute and unmute.
I'm actually on my desktop. I'm talking to you on my phone.
Right. So you go to you're on StreamYard on your phone or on your desktop?
On my desktop.
Okay. To the right of your screen, next to the chat, you're gonna see comments, banners, brand, and private chat. Click on the one that says private chat and put it back there.
Let's see.
Right next to the chat.
All right, I must be looking.
How was a grown man scared of him? He did not deserve to die. Franklin County Prosecuting Attorney Gary Tyak's office said it is standard practice for almost every felony case filed in municipal court to be dismissed. Not every case initiated in municipal court is presented to the grand jury. This according to the release. This particular case is still under review for possible presentation to the grand jury. And unfortunately, I cannot advise you when the case will be presented to the grand jury. That from the Columbus Dispatch. Franklin County First Assistant Prosecutor Janet Group, who leads the criminal division, said the office would not comment further on a matter that is under review. Sensei's sister, Michaela Nichols, said the prosecutor's office has not even communicated with their family and did not warn them Butler Sr., who lives nearby, would be let out of jail. Jeff, the first thing that surprised me in this case was on the same day, murder charges were filed. The next, of course, a week later, without really any kind of explanation that the public deserves, and you can comment more on how people are outraged, what people are saying in your community. Explain to us your thoughts about it, but also...
Hey, this is what I refer to as affirmative defense. They have to prove malice in the case if the guy claims self-defense. That's why he walked.
So anybody can do that?
Yes. Anybody in it, yes, in any shooting. As long as the facts kind of back up the case.
She ain't say nothing though. I ain't hear her say one thing yet.
No, and you will not hear her mention those words, affirmative defense.
Well, I didn't even hear what happened.
The burden of proving is actually on the prosecution office to prove that his allegations of self-defense is anything other than what he said it is.
Correct.
So,
correct.
So he's right.
True.
Yeah, but
I didn't hear shit though. She just said, "Oh man, he shot him."
Well, if she said that, then that would be trying it in the media, and she could be hung out to dry for saying some shit like that.
But stuntmen do shootings every day.
Exactly.
Well,
I was thinking that.
She also doesn't want you to know. She doesn't want you to.
Man, somebody give me an email address I can email this link because I can't find shit that the guy's telling me.
opportunitylive2@gmail.com, man.
Whatever. The summon gets off all the time.
Oh yeah.
The summon gets off all the time, and she don't got that same energy.
Yeah, she's not mentioning facts of the case, but she's not mentioning facts of the case because they don't line up with her narrative.
She ain't say a fucking thing. She's just shrugging.
She knows them. Yeah, she knows the facts of the case, and it's not this guy was just driving down the road shooting at black kids.
Mayo sound like he's broadcasting live from Baghdad.
Yeah, sorry, man. It's this shitty It's this shitty gaming headset.
Give me an email address.
Somebody sounds worse than him, though. I don't know who that is.
Is it me? I'm always sounding terrible.
I'm muted.
Mute yourself when you're not talking to everybody. But Catalyst says, I'm glad I'm from California. The Sun Man is about to get $200K reparations each. This will become the safest state in America in 2023. Happy New Year. You're right.
Yo, is that true? Are they getting money?
I don't know, but all I know is giving some men money makes the situation worse.
That would be the funniest shit ever if it wasn't so
All right,
pathetic.
give me an email address again, man.
It's in the, okay. I'm just dropping in the chat now, man. You see it?
That would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic, Chief.
They are discussing it seriously, though. Wicked.
That's insane. What is that? I don't get it. I had the
Well, Gavin Newsom is the, what is he, the governor?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's getting himself, he's like propping himself in a position for president, for his little presidential run. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just jump out the window with some crap like that, or maybe, you know, just keep you hoping and waiting. You know how the some people be.
It's probably going to be the second one, because if they do the first one, I highly doubt they're actually going to give $200K.
That's a lot of fucking money.
But
man.
that's way too much money.
They don't need that money. They're stealing the clothes and they're stealing the cars. They don't need that money.
It's just dangerous, I think.
The email came from harrislegal2122@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah. And what this whole thing in California is, he appointed a board to come up with a number. That's all.
That's just, but he's just positioning himself.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He was doing it for the election, and he'll string it along for the next election.
That shit will definitely work though.
Yep, because some people gonna be out in droves trying to get that 200K.
Right. I know. See, I would at this point. If I could give my 200.
You gonna go on blackface, Wicked, man?
Yo, man, I got my great grandfather was a slave.
Oh man, let me see. Salute. Yeah, man. We're gonna see what's happening. Salute to Frederick Z, man. Frederick Z says, salute, Happy New Year, all the best in 2023, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. This is let's see what's going on, man. This shit.
So what people are saying there, because here we go again.
Well, yeah, the first thing I thought when I came across this story was Ohio, as of April of 2021, eliminated their duty to retreat before using force kind of law. So what we know is stand your ground. And it goes like this. If someone shot in self-defense, the burden was on the shooter to prove that's why they did it. Well, now, with the stand your ground law, the burden shifts to the prosecutor to prove the shooting was not justified. And that includes homes and cars, which would be in this case.
And that's a response to Sun teens terrorizing Columbus, Cleveland, Toledo, Cincinnati, and other places.
So I was surprised that more information hasn't come out about that, because that's what I was looking into myself. Yeah, the community is devastated. Absolutely. And
is the community really devastated?
He put on a costume. I'm devastated looking at him.
Right, it's got to be a costume.
The community is devastated about this one because a white man did it. So yeah, I mean they might be devastated because their emotions are way different. Like they're wailing. You know how we said we never see tears? You see real, genuine tears, streaming tears when the white man does it. So they might be devastated.
As of 2020, I believe the three neighborhoods in the city of Columbus where homicide is most prevalent is Linden, it's Franklinton, and Hilltop, where this took place. This is tragic and it's horrible, and I hope justice is served, because as I just read from this law, prosecutors are going to have to prove that he didn't have to retreat, meaning this 13-year-old child was going to put him in some kind of danger somehow. I don't know.
13-year-old child's going to put him in some kind of danger.
Harmless Sun team.
Oh shit! These people are so fucking crazy.
There was a weapon found or anything like that, and according to the family, he wasn't like that. So I'm just hoping for the best in this situation, which would be justice. This man being put behind bars, because they're not going to get their child back. We're not going to get a member of this community back either. So let's do the right thing here.
Yeah, and do the right thing depends on who you ask, apparently. And this notion that prosecutors, their hands are tied, because of this new law on the books, that's phony too, right? right? Because why not put it to a grand jury? Okay, why not put it to a grand jury and let people decide? And I would guess that if they found a gun on the 13-year-old, around the 13-year-old, they would make sure we knew that, right, Jeff?
Oh yeah, when the sheriff deputy shot and killed Casey Goodson Jr., shot him in the back, the first thing they said was, "Oh, there was a gun. There was a gun." So we would have known.
But this white guy's not a sheriff deputy. Oh,
Not
they
the
see
same.
they see all white people as authority figures. That's right.
Yo, I wonder what
By
happened.
now, if there were
They're
a
making me
gun,
wonder
there would
what
have been
happened.
evidence of it, maybe a picture of it, disseminated to local journalists and local newspapers and local news. I haven't heard about that. But then again, this happened in October, and I didn't hear about this until a couple of days ago. So, like I said, hopefully the grand jury will.
I thought you were distraught because you lost a community member, man.
Exactly. He should have heard about it when it happened.
For real.
Take this case and do what's right. But as much hoping and wishing I can do, we never know with these situations.
Yeah, remember they said, we may present it to a grand jury, but based on the way they treated the family here, according to,
oh my God, the family's such a victim.
The sister, they haven't even communicated, didn't even give them a heads up that, oh, by the way, the guy who's charged with murder, Butler Sr., he's going to walk out of prison today and come right back to, I guess, close to your neighborhood, said he lives nearby. So based on that, does the community, and I know, you haven't talked to everybody, but just, sampling, does the community really believe that there's going to be any thought of justice here or any grand jury proceeding here? Because based on what the police are saying, the prosecutor's office, they don't really even seem to care about public pressure, and they're not giving much information at all.
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but again, you're letting someone we know. And look, I understand why newspapers and news outlets use the word alleged, okay? I'm aware of why they do that. This man shot and killed someone, a child. That individual is a danger to society right now, and he was let go. So if there was an idea of justice being served, the first instance of him being let out made everyone question if that's actually going to happen, and I understand why.
Yeah, and this alleged, he's not denied that he's the shooter, just he and his mother say it's self-defense. And I guess I'd say this, for this law that's on the books, do you have any doubt that if you were somehow in Butler, and I can't see how you would ever be, but Butler Sr.'s shoes, right? And you had perpetrated this, do you think that you know what I'm getting at, right?
Yep. No, there's no. I would assume the worst for myself. I would assume expeditious justice would be coming to me if I was in a stand your ground situation.
So he's saying that because he's black, he wouldn't get the stand your ground thing.
There are plenty of cases.
The majority of stand your ground is black people because
it's
the majority
black people.
of shootings, the majority of shootings. Somebody got a lot of feedback. The majority of shootings are black people. Period. In Ohio, you want to see the Ohio Gun Memorial? What it looks like? The Ohio Gun Memorial looks like fucking I don't know, the
country gun memorial,
Panama Day Parade or some shit.
And we can talk about it, by the way, because we know stand your ground became very prevalent across the nation after it came out of Florida. And I don't assume that a law like that would benefit me in any way.
Look at how such low self-esteem. Think about how uninformed he is.
He would never.
He's uninformed. Has low self-esteem. He's self-hating. I don't think this law would work for me because I'm black. Like, what are you talking about? You fucking free as a bird, you fucking homo. Why you trying to act like, you got all these shackles on you and restraints and things, and you're free as a bird. You're right here on TV talking cash shit about white people all day.
Honestly, no. So again, we'll see. I'm very much hoping for this family, for the community, for that neighborhood in particular, because that man's going to continue to live there, and he is proven to be a danger to society. And I can't see what a 13-year-old child did unless that child had a weapon. I can't see what that child did to make him fear for his life.
Salute the bike 11238 with the cash app. Salute to you, man. Let me see if I can play this video, man.
Yo, Twitter is going up for this young brother.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They sound like this guy, actually. Matter of fact. They're talking about how can the white man get away with this? The brothers get away with this all the time, chief.
Listen,
they killing motherfuckers and like, what is it, mutual combatants or not enough evidence, etc. Fuck, like the guy that killed the girl yesterday, chief, for example, with the speedy trial.
Yeah.
What about that motherfucker?
These people rely on black people love to be the victim, and the easiest thing in the black community is to be a civil rights activist. That's like it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's the easiest lane. A thug or civil rights activist, you don't have to do nothing. You just, you know, it's just like a turnkey business. You just, you know.
Yeah, that's what Booker T. Washington said when when slavery ended, how it was too hot outside, so they went to be preachers. There was a lot of people that went inside the church to become preachers because they didn't want to do much.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
He also warned of professional Negroes, or people who gained off of the complaints of the Negroes.
Yeah, he was very critical of those types.
But those two are the biggest problem, the thugs and the activists. It's like you can't win for losing with any of these people, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. We'll get back to the government war a little later. Let me just move along, man. I'm gonna do Chicago, man.
Hey, did you get that video of this?
Yeah, that's the little kid shooting. I see it. It's the little kid but he's not shooting at anybody. Is that him shooting at the man?
Well, what it is, there are, according to the post that I sent you, there were 4 eyewitnesses that were videoing the entire altercation, and that's one of the views.
And that's the little boy?
Yeah. Definitely.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's how they all here. So he's shooting at the white guy. And every black person in America thinks that, like, he was at the library studying for the science project, and white guy came behind him.
You've been just going to get iced tea and Skittles, Come on,
shot
man.
him in the back of his head.
He should have studied in proper stance.
Yo, but he didn't deserve to die, chief.
Salute
he was studying for the ACT, man.
Salute to Chris DW, man. She's the GOAT, man. She's Hawk Nation. You know what I'm saying? She Hawk Nation. What can I say? Offensive Player of the Year, man. Salute to her, man.
I like his shooting stance, though. I mean, I've seen worse.
Make sure y'all give Christy a round of applause in the chat, guys. Salute to my man, Razzle, man. Razzle coming through big all the time, man, with the Cash App, man. Salute to you, Razzle. Yeah, man. Salute, man. But this doesn't surprise me. That the Sun team had a gun, and no one knows it. And a year from now, no one will know it because they don't care. It's something that, like, we got to start really understanding and accepting about some people. They don't give a shit about the facts.
Very reactionary.
They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about. And that's not even reactionary. It's something different. I gotta figure out a way to quantify. They don't care.
Right. What's this kid's name? Emmett? Is it Emmett Till?
Nah, he's
Hey, you're seeing this right now in that Jaheim McMillan case from Gulfport. You know, at first, they weren't doing nothing. Well, then his 4 friends admitted to what they were doing, and then it's, he wasn't armed. Well, now the family the attorney general showed the family the tape. Well, now he wasn't pointing the gun directly at the officer. It's that constantly moving goalpost.
Yeah.
from Little Angel to, well, yeah, he had a gun, he was waving it at people, and he pointed it in the direction of police.
He was working on himself. He was an angel to.
This has gained this family $315,000 on GoFundMe.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go back.
$315,000. You said?
Yep. Kylie Irving gave $50,000 himself.
To whose family? This one right here in this story?
No, to Jaheim McMillan's family.
Oh my God, Kyrie's crazy. Let's go back in time to Chicago,
Hello,
man.
I'm Brett Edwards. Thank you for joining us here on the stream. 50 years ago, 1972, Chicago was in a state of transition. Race, crime, the economy, front and center, then and now. Then we examined the trends and what the city needed to do to change 50 years ago. Let's take a look.
Good evening, I'm Bob McBride. This is part of our videotape complex here at TV2 News. It's kind of like the memory bank of a computer, except instead of numbers, it turns out sounds and pictures. Sounds and pictures that help us tell the story of a city in transition. This has been an active year, even for Chicagoans who are accustomed to action. We could let our memory bank spin out bits and pieces of news stories like these from the first half of the year. That's the simplest way to sum it up. But videotape machines can only give us a replay of events. They can't explain them. So we'll spend the next half hour with reporters from the TV2 News team. We'll talk about events, of course, but we'll concentrate on the patterns, the trends behind those events in Chicago's neighborhoods, in local government, and in the suburbs. We'll try to describe the forces that might pull us apart and the qualities that might pull us together.
Let me guess.
Every night we report the news here in our TV2 News studio, Studio 2 at CBS, but it's in the newsroom that we actually sort things out. That's the place we sit down and talk among ourselves. Tonight, we invite you to join us.
Chicago in transition. The Legacy 72. The Challenge 73 is sponsored by Santa Fe, the complete transportation company.
The Second City. When the New Yorker magazine pinned that label on Chicago, the Second City, the picture that went with the article showed a false front, a glittering shoreline with a wasteland behind it. Well, that was a distorted picture back in the 1950s, and it still is today. But it could turn out to be prophetic. Bob Wallace has some facts about that. Bob?
Oh, Bob, the standard indicators say Chicago's still healthy economically, but it's not as strong as it used to be. Right now, the city is losing 20,000 jobs a year and gaining 9,000 welfare clients. Nobody likes to say this, but a lot of it has to do with the black problem. At least that's what you call it if you're white.
God damn.
Well, they're real.
Now, this is when news was news.
City is losing 20,000 jobs a year and gaining 9,000 welfare clients. Nobody likes to say this, but a lot of it has to do with the black problem. At least that's what you call it if you're white. If you're black, it's a white problem. Anyway, since 1960, more than 500,000 whites have left the city, but the black population has grown by about 350,000.
We can't hear you, Ock.
You're muted, Ock.
So the black people are coming and the white people are getting on fucking jet-propelled rocket skates and getting out of town quick as they can.
Because they racist.
White people are fucking putting themselves in fucking cannons and shooting themselves out of town. Like,
oh my God.
I'm sure they ran at a loss. I'm sure they lost money running from this.
They like, man, listen, man. Nothing has changed, man. Look, man, I mean, they just, look, it just doesn't work. Diversity is not your strength.
1960, more than 500,000 whites have left the city, but the black population has grown by about 350,000. The whites are heading for the suburbs. Most of the suburbs are still at least 99% white. And despite all the open housing laws, blacks are staying behind in the city. 12 years ago, just one black family out of 10 lived in the suburbs. Today, it's only about 1 out of 12. The growth of suburbia means a more hectic rush hour for just about everybody, and that includes the 40,000 black people who commute to work in the suburbs. And sometime next year, for the first time ever, there will be more jobs outside the city than in it. Property values, house prices are actually going down in the city. They're going up, of course, in most of the suburbs. Now, all these changes have been accelerated by the developers. They've been filling up the north side and the suburbs with high rises and new houses. They've built so many, we actually have a housing surplus. What happens is that middle-class whites move out of changing neighborhoods into the new developments. The changing neighborhoods, in turn, become all black, and the neighborhoods the blacks leave behind, they just fall apart. What?
Hey, listen, man. This is 1972, man. This is not 85 when crack hit. This is 72.
Hey, at least at this point, there were actually neighborhoods that some people left behind. They don't
They could
even
never
leave
say
any
this on the
neighborhoods
news in this
behind.
day and time.
They leave rubble. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripping, aka the real MVP, coming through once again, man.
White families have more money than black families, and that gap gets wider every year. And about 1 out of 5 black families is below the poverty line and can't pay too much in taxes. If the whites and their money keep flowing out of Chicago, the city will eventually go broke. One way to stop that from happening might be to put a freeze on new housing in the Chicago area. Somehow, though, that just doesn't seem very likely. A lot of whites are moving out because the Chicago schools are so bad. So we might...
To this day, they suck. They probably got worse.
They ruined the school system like they do everywhere. Listen, I tell you guys, like, listen, we're just like, and listen, it's not all of us. We know it's not all of us. But
it's enough.
Per capita, it's enough of us to where if we become the dominant, a minority, or even 10% of the population, we destroy it. I mean, just fucking utterly rampage and ravage it. Salute to MILF Mandy. MILF Mandy says it's almost like they just have these kids for the check. Who cares if they become a productive member of society? It's sickening. Yes, it's sickening now, and it was sickening. What's this, 72? That's 50 years ago.
That's crazy.
Shit. Nothing has changed.
50 years from now, it'll be the same shit.
The only thing that's changed is that they could be honest about this shit 50 years ago. He could never. This guy would have been fired 10 minutes ago.
He would have never said it.
He'd have never made it to this broadcast.
That's true. He would have never said that. He wouldn't have got out the production meeting, man.
I wish you could see how shit is now.
But that doesn't seem very likely either. In other words, Bob, it's going to take some pretty strong medicine to keep Chicago alive. But so far, it looks as though we just don't have the nerve to swallow.
Bob, something you said about housing patterns reminds me of a statistic about segregation in Chicago. If every neighborhood were to become perfectly integrated tomorrow, 90% of the total population, 9 out of every 10 citizens, would have to move overnight in order to accomplish that instant integration.
Jesus. Segregated. So white people, even within the city, even before you talk about white flight and all that shit, when they were living together in the city, the white folks was like, look, we stand on our side of town and you stay on your side.
To this day, Chief, I don't know if you heard that Chicago is the most segregated city in the country.
Yeah. Because who would want to live around fucking shootings and shit?
Right.
And then those same people that are fucking committing fucking 1,000 murders a year,
right,
are fucking constantly marching, protesting,
so sensitive, But more than that, Chief, I think it's obvious that people kind of gravitate towards their own. You know, like you have Chinatown, you have Greektown, you have Little Village. I mean, it is what it is.
No, I got that, but it's also the fact that like when it's such a stark thing, like 90% is around each other. That's very, very, very. That means there's other factors too. You know what I'm saying? The
What do
other
you mean?
factors,
That's not
like
my
other
own.
than just people gravitate to their own.
That's not my own.
I don't know. I'm from here, so maybe I'm a fish in water, right? But from what I see, Chief, we just gravitate towards each other. At least on burritos,
So
though.
are you saying that if black people didn't commit 1,000 murders a year in Chicago, that white people would still not want to live around them?
I think so. I do believe that. Yeah.
At
Just from my opinion.
90%
I
rate.
might
No,
agree
at
with
a
you.
90% rate. I'm not
Well,
talking
that's
about.
a high rate. No, I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with you. Obviously, the specter of having litter everywhere and violence and loitering is not appealing.
No, I
But
mean, if the killing wasn't going on, then that stuff more likely wouldn't go on as well. I mean,
yeah,
gliders would be okay with living around some people if they weren't engaged in this kind of degeneracy.
you should see, for example, Chinatown. It literally is Chinatown. You know what I mean?
No,
You should look.
I understand. I understand, but DC's the same way. I completely understand. I completely understand, but when it's that stark
Yeah, I feel you.
of a thing, there's other things.
TV2 News reporter Harry Porterfield has covered a lot of stories on that subject. Harry? Bob, if there was any sign that race relations are improving in Chicago, it wasn't noticed very much in 1972. A single glimpse of the confrontations at Gage Park High School is almost sufficient to sour even the sweetest memory of the year. Worse than that, it could be the flavor of the future.
Oh God! So they fighting at the schools.
There have been racial skirmishes there in the past, but none like the most recent clashes between black and white students. Hatred was the element not seen before. There's the fear that the presence of black students in the high school heralds a black migration into that predominantly white community, and neither the fear nor the hatred are likely to cool in the year to come. In the Austin area, white parents have avoided a Gage Park situation by taking their youngsters.
Austin used to be white.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
The West Side used to be a Jewish slum. They said
this one neighborhood. This is just a neighborhood, Austin. It's not a district. It's not a ward. It's not It's a neighborhood. They have
violent.
70 murders every single year in and year out. 70.
And it's
every
a small neighborhood. It's not like a big area.
70 murders every year in this one neighborhood, and 99% of them are black.
Out of Austin High School as it shifted to a predominantly black enrollment. Although violence on
a cop might get killed.
Gage Park High appears to be the exception. White resistance to the black migration is still marked by acts of vandalism and individual violence.
See, these gliders back then
so much better. Holy shit!
These gliders were cut from a different cloth, man. Let my gliders get in here, man.
Take notes.
Let's just let the gliders. What do y'all think about this, man? Y'all think that y'all need to step your game up? And I'm not saying attack black people. I'm just talking about like y'all used to be in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of our neighborhood, and now look where y'all at, where it's like I could just like bop a white guy in the fucking head, and it's like he's like, sorry, man, I apologize, man.
I'm sorry for slavery.
Yeah,
but the federal government wouldn't come after you then.
That's true. That's very true.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Yes.
I agree.
For sure.
If somebody went to your boss and said you did this, you wouldn't lose your job. Your kids wouldn't be pushed out of sports, out of the community, period.
Right.
You're on
this shit is gold, Chief. This shit you're showing right now, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
if you had been shown in this photo on the news today in this same scenario, you'd be fired before you got back to the house.
Yo, you'd be done. Everybody would know. Everybody would the internet, they would have doxed you by now. They would have known all your business partners, anybody who was doing business with you, your fucking landlord, anybody
Probably
who
outside
had
your house protesting.
monetary or financial tie to you would fucking be pressured into
Disowning
severing that tie. Salute to Georgia Swan. She says, my son's grandparents moved from Inglewood to Morgan Park in the 60s to get away from sun words. And it was okay over there until the 2000s. Yeah, man. So,
but I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what really burns my gears, man, when it comes to situations like this? When we have our black activists that go out of their way to point out what they think is racism. And then when it's proven to be otherwise, they say nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's never a retraction. You're never going to get a retraction from
There was a situation that happened in New Orleans, man, with this kid in the middle of October in somebody's yard at 2:00 in the morning. The guy shot him in his head because he was trying to steal his dirt bike out of the yard. Well, the guy's name was Merritt Landry. And when I tell you, man, they came out, this happened right after the Trayvon Martin shooting. And they ran this guy out of his house, out of his neighborhood, got him arrested. They pressured the DA to bring him before the grand jury. I mean, they spent the block with this guy. 2 months later, after the kid got shot in the head, he and his brother was in somebody else's yard, got arrested again for doing the same thing.
What?
The name of the case is called Marshall Coulter, Coulter, and the guy who was arrested, the guy that shot him, his name was Merritt Landry, MERRITTLENDRY.
Okay, man. Appreciate it, man. Make sure you put that in the back chat too, man, or email it to me. You got my email.
I'm tired of Inglewood getting a bad rap. Nothing wrong with a little gunplay, brother.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No. I'm looking up the case. I'm going to send you the actual case.
All right.
The black migration is still marked by acts of vandalism and individual violence. Disenchantment with urban living and the availability of mortgage money are inducing many black families to move to the southern suburbs. Generally, middle-class blacks can afford to move, while those locked in poverty may be losing ground, and the distance between the two just might be growing. For one thing, the president is talking about belt-tightening. Observers say that will mean a reduction or even an elimination of job training programs, educational projects for dropouts, and retraining programs for unskilled people thrown out of...
You hear that? Programs.
They were ending the programs.
They cutting them off, though, right?
Yeah, they were ending the programs, and they was mad about it.
Look at these people, man. These look like jive turkeys, man.
With the fro. Talk it to me.
Yeah, man, this is crazy, man.
Even an elimination of job training programs, educational projects for dropouts, and retraining programs for unskilled people thrown out of work through automation or laid off in employment cutbacks. Many blacks without skills may have no opportunity at a job, while those with professional or technical abilities will fare much better. Cook County Hospital...
Okay, so many blacks without skills won't be able to find a job, but those who do will fare better. Like, what the fuck? That makes sense.
You know what that means, Chief? It's party time.
Yeah, man. It's this makes sense.
Or laid off in employment cutbacks. Many blacks without skills may have no opportunity at a job, while those with professional or technical abilities will fare much better. Cook County Hospital acknowledged the problem with non-skilled in finding work when it set up an employment office to help the 1,000 laid off there recently. The Kerner report of 4 years ago predicted that without large sums of money being spent to upgrade living conditions in inner cities and to improve educational and job opportunities for minorities, racial polarization would continue. Judging by the past year, it's difficult to see any trend in Chicago that's going to make that condition better in 1973. Bob? Well, Harry, as you know, Susan Anderson once was a school teacher, and now she frequently reports on that subject for TV2 News. Susan, how would you say our schools have fared during this?
Well, it's almost a cliche, Bob, but we are getting nowhere in educating kids in big city schools.
Very blunt.
You see how fucking But you see how just informative and factual these motherfuckers was?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's no opinion in this. There's no opinion. There's very little opinion in this.
I'm kind of offended.
And what she said, she'll back up with numbers.
I'm kind of offended, guys.
Yeah, this is just raw reporting, man. This country's gone to shit. If everything's gotten worse as journalism has in the last 50 years, this country is in deep shit.
I wonder what's her gender, Chief. What was her gender back then?
I think she identifies as a woman, man.
You don't know that.
I don't think
they wouldn't have even entertained that conversation.
Exactly.
Maybe she was a transgender woman in transition of yada yada blah blah.
She wouldn't be on TV, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, that's your
Compared
fantasy.
to 111th graders nationally, 64 read better than the average Chicago high school junior. Absenteeism is another factor. In Chicago, the average student attends 9 days, then misses a day. In the suburbs, it's 15 days of school to 1 day missed. The school board has begun several experimental schools to curb this trend. One is Metro High, where the classroom becomes a subway, factory, or TV studio. But the school board says lack of money prohibits Metro's expansion. Chicago and every other urban school district is going broke. Schools are financed primarily by the local property tax. This results in Evanston.
So the white people are leaving with their money, their tax money, and the black people
the schools suffer.
Some people are tax receivers, so there's just not enough. There's not enough paying going on.
And the fact that even if those schools aren't funded, they're still among the best in the world.
But then the kids are not going to school anyway, so.
Exactly.
Also, look at these schools. These schools were built by poor white people. The people in these neighborhoods that built these schools were not rich.
No, they weren't.
But these schools they're nice. Like the buildings are, the architecture is not.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It's because they gave a shit though.
Exactly.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse for some teens to be failing as abysmally in school as they are. I don't care how much funding the school doesn't have because the white people left the city.
Exactly.
Township spending $2,203 to educate each child, and Chicago spending one half that, $1,053 per child. Several state Supreme Courts have ruled the states should collect all local property taxes and distribute the money equitably between districts. The issue is now before the U.S. Supreme Court.
Wow, hold on.
Parochial
She just
schools
used the
educate
word
1 out of 5.
equitably in 1972.
Equitably, yeah.
Equitably,
equity. It's different. Equitably is the
equity.
No, they're talking about fucking socialism. I mean, equity. When you're talking about breaking shit down equitably, that is socialism.
But I think
do you know what Chicago?
What it is now?
Yeah. Do you know what Chicago spends on kids now?
How much?
$29,000 per student.
And how much are the teachers making? Because
$27,000
and they're getting worse results than they did when they were spending $1,000 per child.
They get paid pretty good here, the teachers like in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean this is a situation with the schools. You know how I feel about it. You know, I think it's a DNA thing. So none of this stuff.
Chicago, yes.
Exactly.
These schools are in financial straits too. Next year, they may be getting some financial relief in the form of tax credits to parents. Educators say the mood of students is changing. Students are now less outspoken. Group conformity is more important. Cheerleading is back in vogue. No one seems to know why, but it's a trend to watch. Schools have been forced to lead the way in racial integration. Probably no issue has caused more furor than busing. But now both blacks and whites are saying busing is not the answer to quality education or even racial balance. Teacher strikes are expected to continue to plague the schools, with a threatened walkout by Chicago teachers on the 1st of the new year. Governor-elect Dan Walker says schools are his number one priority. He has pledged more state money to Chicago schools. When Walker becomes governor, Watch to see whether he keeps education at the top of his list. Bob?
And another
salute to the lovely Mary M. She says, I found a solution in many Sunmen. Mandu on YouTube. LA parole board, prison, 30 plus years, truth.
What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, Mandu on Whitey. Mandu on Whitey. LA parole board, prison plus 30 years, truth. I mean, the prison plus 30 years, listen, nothing has changed, though. Like, they were giving out those sentences back then. Listen, man, nothing's changed, man. Nothing has changed.
TV2 newsroom regular with us tonight is John Drummond. Because of his tenacity, we call him the Bulldog Drummond. John frequently covers police stories for TV2 News. We'll have his report on the crime situation after this.
This should be good. It sounds good.
Chicago television viewers call us up or write us lots of letters about a lot of news stories. But crime stories, naturally enough, I suppose, seem to get people more worked up than anything else. John Drummond has a report now from the police beat. John?
Bob, everybody squawks about crime, especially the politicians, but they never seem to mention that much of our police work is squandered on things like arresting drunks or handing out traffic tickets. In spite of that, the crime rate in Chicago has been fairly steady recently. In fact, serious crime is down about 3% this year. In the suburbs, though, it's a different story. The suburban crime rate is more than twice as high as it was a decade ago. Of course, the suburban population is going up too. But we don't need any statistics to know that there's too much violent crime and not enough police manpower to deal with it. Part of the answer,
nothing's changed.
Answer might be to let the police forget about so-called victimless crime, like gambling and prostitution. That way, police could spend more time concentrating on really serious crimes, the kind where people get hurt. There are experts who even think we ought to do the same thing about drug addiction. They contend that addicts should be allowed to buy drugs at low cost from a public health agency. That way, they wouldn't go around stealing cars or clobbering people on the head to finance an expensive habit. That may be a far-out theory, but one police official told me that half the auto thefts and burglaries in suburban Cook County are probably committed by addicts.
Nothing
Drug
has
users
changed.
account for so much of our crime problem that the whole thing boils down to this. Either we find some way to solve the soaring drug problem, or else we keep getting mugged on the streets. In the meantime, the fellows who sell handguns, guard dogs, and burglar alarm devices continue to do a land office business. Bob?
John, there's a special kind of crime we haven't talked about yet tonight. Crimes against the earth we live on. Those crimes still are being committed. But Robert Osborne says there is some good news along with the bad.
That's about enough of that, man. Yeah, they
You
getting
really didn't say shit. I mean, I guess. I thought it was gonna go harder in the paint, Chief.
Hey, I sent like a little thing about the safety egg. It's only like a minute and like 45 seconds. It's in the back chat.
About what's going on now with the safety act?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If you just want to play it.
Yeah. That was very informative video, man. Nothing has changed, man. Nothing.
Well, the afros, they don't use afros no more, really, right?
I don't. Oh, you sent it a while ago, right?
Yeah. I'll send it right back in. Right
No,
now.
I got it. I'm about to play it now. Yeah. This is listen, man. That was illuminating, man. Because I always tell you guys that black folk was not walking around, getting called boy and ducking their head when they saw a white man and living like, walking around in suits, everybody walking around in suits and top hats and shit. Like, no, some people were the same way they are now, the exact fucking same way.
I mean, I could tell you a little crazy story my dad told me about some shit regarding some sun, man. But when he had came back from Ecuador, because I remember he was telling me he went to go visit just to see family for like a whole year. came back with his cousin, my uncle, my tío, and he was telling me like they're just walking around with some. It was some real nice like little wool, like literally made like they made it with them like some nice wool like blankets and stuff, and they're just wearing them because they liked it. Some dudes walked up to him, wanted their stuff, they didn't want to give it to him. And mind you, these dudes, my dad's told me like they were definitely like 17, 18, 16, like they were up there like late teens, and they're only like 9, 8. Just got their ass beat, took their shit. Wasn't even worth anything. I mean, it's just some family made, just took it, just kicked their ass. And mind you, they're like 9, 8.
Shit.
But you sound surprised, product.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not.
Okay,
He's told me more stories like that. He told me like the racial tension was definitely there, and I mean, still is some today.
But where was that, if you don't mind me asking, more or less?
Because my dad's from around the little village area, so that's around the North Lawndale.
So by like
area
Lawndale?
too. Yeah.
Okay. The
like
Vice Lords?
Street. Yeah. My dad had a lot of run-ins with Vice Lords too, because he was a king.
Salute to Scholar J, man. Scholar J coming up here, man. You welcome, Scholar J. Who are you?
Hey, Ak.
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, Ak. Hey.
What did you got any thoughts on this stuff?
I've never called into a YouTube channel before.
Okay, well just sit back and you can comment when you feel like it. I'll let you mute yourself when you're not talking though. Salute to Flo, man. Flo says, if you like diversity, check out Canada's top 10 most wanted list. Oh, I could just imagine, man. I could just imagine what Canada. Salute to everybody. We got 528 in the in watching here. We got another let me see how many we got watching on Rumble. We got another 94 watching on Rumble. Salute to everybody watching on Rumble. Let's see about this Safety Act, man. This Purge Act, man. What's really going on with it? Because there's a lot of confusion right now. Whether it's going to go into effect on January 1st or it's not.
Because that ruling applies only to those counties where the law was challenged, there are concerns tonight about defendants being treated differently depending on where they live. And so both sides are turning to the state's high court.
This is a big win for the rule of law, and this should be embarrassing to the Illinois General Assembly.
County State's Attorney Patrick Kennelly heralding the ruling blocking a portion of the Illinois Safety Act that ends the practice of cash bail on January 1st, while allowing judges to detain certain defendants they deem dangerous.
This is a law that undermines public safety.
In his 33-page opinion, Kankakee County Judge Thomas Cunnington citing the need for a separation of powers, saying the appropriateness of bail rests with the authority of the court and may not be determined by legislative fiat. Illinois' Attorney General disagrees.
In fact, with the recent amendments to the Safety Act, I think judges' discretion with regards to pretrial detention is expanded.
The judge's ruling.
This guy wants the Safety Act. I just don't understand how this guy can literally be fighting for that shit.
The Attorney General?
Yeah, he's a fucking lunatic.
He's the Attorney General. He's the top lawyer in the fucking state. Why would you want this shit?
It gives
Fox County, man.
It gives them more power. They get more power from the people being scared.
The problem is that act will become a constitutional issue, mainly because if judges are imposing bail or not giving bail based on the validity of a crime or the characteristics of a crime, the problem is that you're punishing someone who's supposed to be deemed innocent until proven guilty. They can implement that law, but it will be overturned very, very quickly. It will become issue of constitutionality.
So you think they're going to go back to no cash bail?
It will go back to judges. You cannot. I'm not sure about what is the law in Illinois, but I know in some of the southern states and even in federal jurisdictions, you have the factors in determining bail. When someone's bail is based away from those factors, then you are violating someone's constitutional rights.
Right, that's true.
Okay,
It
you know,
applies here. It applies in Illinois as well.
in Louisiana, we had and I never said this, I'm a former attorney. I quit practicing about 13 years ago. In Louisiana, in Jefferson Parish, we had something that was called Code 6 vertical prosecution. That means that in Jefferson Parish, we had some of the harshest violators that had to go before certain judges. And these judges were notorious for imposing high bails. They were notorious for instituting the most harshest crime penalties. So you had Code 6 portion of the police department, a Code 6 prosecutor, as well as Code 6 judges. But the problem is with any judicial system, wherever you are in the country, you have to have a right to the allotment system. That means that cases has to go through a selection process. You cannot just send cases to particular judges. And there was an issue with that with bail. The exact same thing that's trying to go through with in Illinois, where they are sending certain bail issues to certain judges. It is illegal.
Okay, thank you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Expanded.
The judge's ruling applies only to the 60-plus Illinois counties where the law was challenged, including McHenry, DeKalb, Kendall, Grundy, Will, and Kankakee. Cook, DuPage, Kane, and Lake are not impacted by the ruling.
And it could now be that whether or not you are held on a bail or a money bond prior to trial could be determined by your zip code.
The Attorney General appealing to the state's high court, and state's attorneys are headed there too.
We're going to ask the Illinois Supreme Court to declare the entire act unconstitutional and make it applicable to the entire state.
That judge in Kankakee County rejected the plaintiff's request for an injunction, and so the Attorney General is now...
So basically what's happening so far, before he gets to wrap it up, there's 64 counties that applied for the Safety Act to not be valid in their county, and there's 37 who didn't. So right now, the 64 counties who applied to have the Safety Act dismissed from their county, they may have the right to set bail on criminals, but the other 37 won't. So it's going to be like nowhere in the state, you know how usually when you're in a state you go by the same rules in the state. This is going to be a state broken down into counties as far as criminals, and I think criminals are going to migrate to those counties where, think about it, if you can go to a county and there's no fucking bail, you can fucking carjack somebody, drag them down the street, and then fucking get caught red-handed in the car with a gun and then get out the next day. Who doesn't want to live in that fucking place if you're a fucking criminal? And it's not another state. Hold on. We're not talking about you have to move to another state. You just have to move to another county.
Like a lot of the neighboring counties to Cook County are part of this lawsuit, right? Of this appeal. These guys in Cook County, the Chicago Sun brothers, they're gonna go over there. They're fucked regardless because they're so close to Cook County.
Like the next county where I live is literally like 5 minutes away, and it's like I be in that county and don't even be knowing I'm in that county because there's no county lines. You know what I'm saying? You don't like counties ain't like states. You don't say welcome to this county everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It may say it some places, but you rarely know when you're,
right.
You know what I'm saying, you're in a different county. But if I could just move to like 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away and get to fucking do whatever the fuck I want to do, shit. I mean, like these guys are shrewd. These are shrewd operators. These thugs, these Sun thugs, man. And I think that they're gonna those areas are gonna start experiencing white flight. Those areas that have no cash bail, those 37 counties have no cash bail, are gonna start experiencing white flight.
that judge in Kankakee County reject.
Go ahead.
What do you think? Well, I mean, you can answer that after you play the clip. But what do you think is a solution that will be the answer to what they're trying to
solutions? There are no solutions.
Oh, there's a solution.
Don't die.
Rejected the plaintiff's
There's no solutions, brother.
request for an injunction. And so the Attorney General is now arguing that judges within those 60 plus counties have discretion to comply with the Safety Act and forego cash bail.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC.
Well, let's see what's going on. Salute to Monique. Monique says CBS is replaying this because they know it's still true and wish they could say it out loud. That's a good point. Like they
fuck them. Fuck them. They're liberal as fuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fuck them.
I agree.
All the major networks are, man.
Well,
here's the solution. Now they thought that the three strikes you're out law was kind of inhumane and unrealistic until it was instituted. I think that an answer would be to create what is called an accomplice law. One of the biggest issues that they have with people who are making bond is those people that are committing other crimes while they're out on bond. Someone is bonding them out. If there was some type of disclaimer that these people signed who's bonding somebody out of jail, if that person got rearrested for anything, it has to be an immediate jail time for whoever bonded somebody out of jail.
Okay, let me tell you why that wouldn't work.
Go ahead.
Because of 100 people that law would affect, that are bonding someone out in Chicago or anywhere, 92 of them are black women.
Okay.
And you're just not gonna, that's a non-starter, man, locking up black women.
Well, no. But the thing about it is, this is something that they're signing up for. No one is forcing them to bond somebody out of jail, but base is creating accountability. They basically have the understanding. Look, I know that if I bond this idiot out of jail, I know he's not working. I know he's cutting up out here in the streets. I know that if I bind him out of jail, I stand a very high chance of going my ass to jail as well.
Rule number one in the New World Order is thou shalt not institute any law that disproportionately affects son sisters.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work. Razzle, man, what do you think about all this, man?
Man, I just got on. It took me like an hour to connect with y'all, so I'm just catching up, man. To be honest with you.
Okay, mute yourself when you're not talking, man, please. But let's see what's going on around Chicago, man. Let's see if we can, get a feel for the city, man. That's about to have that in 37 counties at least is about to turn into a fucking Nairobi, Mogadishu, goddamn Johannesburg.
A lot of guys are gonna touch down real soon.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this summer act is gonna be one for the fucking books.
It's been 11 years and still CPD remembers, like they do every year on December the 29th, the anniversary of police officer Clifton Lewis's murder, killed while off duty working a second job as a security officer at an Austin neighborhood convenience store.
This is always a rough day for me. Cliff was more than just another police officer. Cliff was a friend.
Edgardo Colon, Tyrone Clay, and Alexander Villa were all arrested and charged.
Damn.
The Black and Brown Coalition.
That's y'all collating like a motherfucker.
Hey, who said we're not, black and brown, Chief?
Yeah, you said that was you. You said a few minutes ago that we stick to our own, man. You look like
we can take this L.
Let me help Wicked on that statement real quick. I mean, yes, it's there, but like it's not as strong as you may think it is. Like it is definitely some integration now for sure. Especially the Humboldt Park area, man, because I used to go around there a lot. It's
getting gentrified.
Yeah,
that's different.
Oh no, Humboldt Park's getting heavy gentrified, bro. I was just there with my brother this summer, and I'm just thinking, like, we're just looking around, and I'm like, man, I do not remember this shit when we used to come to the parade, like back in like 2009, 2010.
Yeah,
I mean,
like this, there's a lot of
like,
construction going on in that area.
Hell yeah, there is, man, and it looks nice, but I'm like, damn, like. everyone's just getting pushed to the west side of the Humboldt Park.
But it's weird though, man.
You don't want to go there, Chief. West Side Humboldt Park.
No, you
it's
don't.
Son neat. The stand, Chief.
But they running up on cats out there, so you don't even know it's a good neighborhood or not. Like my homeboy's in a nice neighborhood, but they just tried to do a home invasion on his ass.
Where in Chicago?
Yeah, right over at Chicago and Illinois, right by Cabrini Green's old projects.
It's pretty nice out there now.
Yeah, it's pretty, but they're like, hey, don't walk that way unless you with something. I'm like, damn.
It's too sunny, or why do you say that?
Yeah, the pasties are so fucking liberal, man. They was
Too
upset. They was more mad at the dude wanted to shoot the cats than the guys was running up in their houses. Some Trump supporters were like, yo, I'll buck one if they run up on me. They were like, I can't believe it. I was like, yo, they just try to wrestle your girl, bro.
Predators go where the food pickings are easy.
Exactly.
I mean, up north is definitely better than coming down to like the south side, still safety wise. But like I know, like you go certain areas, whatever on the north side, like you better watch out where you're going, especially like Rogers Park. I would not be at certain parts of Rogers Park at night.
Bro, them pasties are food right now.
Wow. So the pasty liberals are literally complaining more about people who are talking about taking matters into their own hands than they are the Sun Thugs.
Because they voted for Trump.
All arrested and charged in connection with the murder. But did they do it? 11 years later, all three cases are still ongoing. Confessions obtained from the first two, both of which were recanted, were thrown out, leading to Colon's conviction being overturned in 2020, and Clay not even standing trial yet. Meanwhile, attorneys for Villa, who has been convicted but not yet sentenced, are asking for a new trial.
We now have evidence that shows that they didn't do it.
Oh God, this woman right here. She's a demon.
But they didn't do it.
The evidence, says Villa's attorney, includes a 2012 FBI map that allegedly shows where each of the accused were on the day and time of the murder based on their cell phone activity.
Police believed at the time of this crime that the first person who implicated everyone was about 3 miles away at the exact minute of the crime. The other thing that the map shows that's telling is that these men were never together the entire day. Not one time.
In separate statements today, a spokesperson for CPD referred all questions to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, which in turn would not comment on the cases, citing pending litigation. But in a September court filing, prosecutors said the motion in its tone and tenor is implying the people hid evidence from the defense. This is not true, adding that the FBI's original cell tower mapping report is wrong, saying there's a well-documented mistake in the charting times. But even as the legal battles continue, there is still a family grieving, still a fiance remembering the man who took a second job to help pay for a wedding that didn't get to happen.
I had told him, I was like, we need to have this huge ceremony because I want to be a queen for a day and you need to be a king for a day.
But even as all three cases are proceeding separately for now, Villa's attorney tells us she expects them eventually to join together to call on all charges to be dismissed. In Austin, I'm Michelle Gallardo, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Wow.
The savages.
They try to let those guys out, man. Woo! Yikes, man.
It's the perfect time to do it, Chief. Kim Fox at the helm. I would do the same thing.
Police tell us that charges are pending against 3 men who are accused of attacking that man right here on the CTA platform near State and Monroe. That is yet another example of why some of these CTA riders that we talked to would like to see more protection across the entire platform.
It has probably been the worst that it's been since the early 90s.
Police say an altercation started last night on the Red Line, which led to an assault of a 26-year-old man on the CTA platform near Monroe and State. Police say 3 men attacked him and hit him with a bottle, sending the victim to the hospital where he was listed in fair condition. That's something Billy Tuggle says he's seen before while riding the CTA.
A lot of not dealing with citizens with mental issues and a lot of street crime, and it's not being addressed.
The CTA has tried addressing crime concerns a number of ways throughout the year, specifically adding more security guards on platforms after a string of incidents last summer. It's also become a pivotal part of the upcoming mayoral campaign, with candidates considering different ways to make the CTA safer. Riders are hoping that includes more officers at each station.
I feel generally safe, and I just really I hope that they step up security and everything on the CTA, because everybody here needs to come on the CTA to get downtown.
I honestly feel safer when there's more people on the train, and when it's colder, people aren't walking out as often.
The other concern is the timing of these crimes. Chicago police data shows the most common time for crime to happen is in the afternoon between 1 and 6.
That's terrifying, man. And this thing is open 24 hours a day.
I think the red line is, if I'm not mistaken.
So one would think that most of the crime would happen in the wee hours of
No, the crime's going to happen when the food's on the plate.
Yeah, true indeed.
I wish the brother with the dreads would elaborate though. Tell me more. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you see? Tell me what you see.
7 p.m. with 39% of incidents happening then. 33% of crimes happen after 5 p.m.
It's the things that happen during the day that I'm worried about. It's the fact that I don't feel secure not riding in the first car where the operator is.
I think it'd be a man to say something like that.
Now, CTA responded to.
Well, he's unarmed, Moss. He's not you. He's not Chuck Norris, the black Chuck Norris, man.
No, it's not even that. It's just being a man and openly just flat out, like admitting you're just vulnerable, and not saying what you are. I'm saying, not saying it with any shame in your voice. Not saying what you.
But I strongly encourage you, Marcy, to come down here and take a ride on the red line and buckle up.
Marcy. Let me tell you something, man. I mean, you forgetting, man. I think you've been down there in South Carolina. So these some scary dudes, man. These son kids, man, they're brash, they're brazen, they're arrogant, they're ostentatious, they're argumentative, they're cocky. And they're extremely violent. So it's like it's nothing for them to like get on the train and like be like talking loud and shit and talking about shootings and killings and murders loud as hell. And then they just
liquor, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, but then to just identify somebody on the train to fuck with for fun while they're passing time until they get to the destination.
Right.
I guess I look at it. I see that he's a father, and that's what bothered me more is that he's a father, openly talking about being vulnerable, but not having any shame in his voice about it. That's what bugs me.
Hey, really quick for Marcy and you, Chief. Long story short, I always have my gun on me for sure, right? I was on the red line once, and I got off on Chicago Ave, which is downtown, right? I shit you not. When I was getting off the train, I noticed 3 Sun teams, 1 versus 2. You know how when like dogs square off and they're like ready to attack. The one that was alone was his back to the wall with his hand in his jacket, in his pocket, right? And the other 2 were like kind of egging each other on, like kind of like do it. I was literally caught right in between them, Chief. If they open fire on each other and I have my gun, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, Marcy? It's a lot going on.
Yes, you are vulnerable.
You're never gonna have like the perfect situation to defend yourself all the time, too, man. You just can get caught in between shit, or just like what Wicked was saying. Like,
it just kicks off like
exactly.
that. Exactly.
You don't even know what's about to happen.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not looking for the perfect. I'm not looking for a perfect situation. It's just, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to accept reality like that and not having back in my head. You know what? I'm going to do something about this. Damn the laws, because I have a family. I have a family to protect, and I have a dignity to have dignity.
And I get you, man.
He has that option in Chicago now.
Yeah. But my thing is, he also has the option to not even live in Chicago.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel Mossy in the fact, like, how could you even say some shit like that? But I also understand that if you in these cities, you are food.
Yeah,
if you are a square citizen, you are food.
Yeah.
But Stunner, people live in the city. A lot of people live in the city. Are we supposed to run from the brothers? Like, period, just run?
I personally would never be there. I can only speak for me and mine.
Look, I respect that and I get that. I'm here. I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, cats running out of places to run
you
to too.
you sound like my girl.
Yeah.
Stunner, my girl be saying the same shit. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Exactly.
You can't even go to Iowa no more, bro. It's done.
Yeah. The place, the hiding spots are over. Like, especially when I mean, they're building all this low income housing in these areas, man.
Being in a red state, being in a red state's a good start.
Yo, I maybe in the scenario I gave you, what I could have done is, like I seen a Steven Seagal movie where he dove, got on his shoulder, started shooting everybody down. He didn't miss one bullet. Maybe I could have done that,
Steven Seagal's my man. That's I love Steven Seagal movies, man. Hey Richie, anybody? I'm looking for Richie. Anybody seen Richie? Tell Richie I'm looking for him.
Right.
Love Steven
Yeah, but
DA responded to us this afternoon, telling us it's continuing to add resources for everyone's safety. That includes full deployment of its K9 crews and more than 300 officers on all the CTA platforms.
Good.
Well, wicked. That one day that's going to be your kids in that scenario.
You know what, man? I'm gonna.
I mean, I'm not hitting on you.
No, I got you.
You know what I mean?
No, I completely understand, Mayo, but my whole family's here. Like, I'm not gonna run, dude, and I'm gonna teach my kids what it is. I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna run, man. I grew up here. This is where I'm at.
Hey, Wicked, I wouldn't tell you to run. I wouldn't advise you to run. All I would hope is that you have an attitude of, I'm not gonna be helpless. I'm gonna teach my kids not to be helpless.
Exactly.
And do whatever has to be done to stay alive and to stay safe. That's it.
But do you hear this conversation, all because of what? Fucking insane, brother.
He was on some cry for help shit. He was not Charles Bronson with that. He was really cry for.
He probably didn't have a gun though. Like it's you guys should get. Have you been on the red line, brother? I know you've been on the.
Yeah, I've been on the bitch.
It's a shit show, man. I feel bad for the ones that gotta take it. I didn't have to take it that day, Chief, but I decided to. Never again.
Well, remember,
Let's look at this one right here.
It's not the gun. It's just the mindset I have a problem with. The gun thing is separate. It's the mindset.
Orange Line's starting to get a little fucked up too.
These motherfuckers got guns.
Bro.
Do you think so? I don't know about that one. You think so?
I called you the Black Chuck Norris, dog.
Yeah, man. He ready to you gotta really understand, Marcy. These people who live in these cities, man. It's like these guys are the average Sun team in a democratically run city is so full of himself and so energetic. It's not probably the same person you're meeting out in the country. You're meeting somebody who's like arrogant, who feel entitled, who literally feels like your stuff belongs. He's entitled to your stuff and has no there's no oh shit, I can't. I gotta act a certain way because there's people around, or I can't do that here because it's embarrassing. They don't feel those things.
Look what happened to the White Devil, that you showed us earlier.
They do anything anywhere.
And these cats never left the block neither, dog. Like they never left the block. They think they're worldly and shit, and they out here just going nuts.
Well, the thought I've always had was when I was a kid, I got bullied. And I knew that when I got older, I didn't want to go through that on the same. I didn't want to go through that on an adult level. So that's why I said I have to change how I think about myself, and I have to change. Well, I can't be vulnerable. I can't adopt that kind of mindset, and it just carried on to me being, getting into self defense and getting into firearms. I just can't have that mindset. It just, especially as a father, I can't imagine a father having a mindset like that. It's just sickening.
I'm right there with you. Getting robbed with your sister next to you, man, that's discouraging as hell, bro. You just like, fuck, man.
These guys have guns, dude.
Yeah, you can't do shit. Yeah, you just sitting there getting robbed.
What are you gonna do? Like I said, it's before you even pick up a gun, because you just pick up a gun and don't have the right mindset, then you're just holding it for someone else. Like I said, it's that mindset I can't stand.
Marcy, it's kind of like, all right, it's kind of like, I think what we're experiencing with you is like somebody who plays like for like a Division 3 school. They like a Division 3 All-American, and it's like Chicago's like Kentucky, man, or North Carolina, man. Yeah, you a Division 3 All-American and shit. You the baddest motherfucker at fucking John fucking McCallum State. You know what I'm saying? But this is Kentucky and North Carolina and shit, and Duke, man.
They do it.
Duke.
You wouldn't even make the fucking practice squad.
It'll
You
be a
dig what I'm
blowout.
saying?
It'll be a blowout.
That's Coach K on your ass. He ain't lying, bro. I feel you, Mozzie, but he ain't lying, man. It's crazy out there.
Yeah,
But
it's
what he's
different.
also talking about is this guy's political mindset. This guy is going to vote for the people that are turning these guys loose on the street.
Exactly.
You right, man.
At the
You
same
right,
time,
man.
he's begging for those same people to
Okay.
protect him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Now,
That's
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 different.
what I'm getting
That's
at.
It makes
different.
no
man. Good
sense.
point.
But we're not
But that's
talking about that.
different
That's
from
true.
him admitting that he's vulnerable. Like all he did was admit that he was vulnerable, and Marcy jumped on. It's like he admitted he's vulnerable.
I mean,
But Mozzie's right. He did look like a chump, man. He
he really
vulnerable
is
for all that shit.
vulnerable,
Not his
though.
crime.
Well, look, hey, look, I'm a square. I'm a straight up say I'm a square, but I'm not so lost in myself that I just basically say, you know what, I'm just gonna belly up and take it, however life's
He's
gonna dish it
not
out at me.
bellying
No,
up. He
I can't
sits in
do
the
it.
car closest to the conductor, so that you know what I'm saying. If something happens, he can yell. Get the
Right.
conductors to
Help.
Yeah, but what do you think his physical presence look like? This man looks like a hot dog on legs.
Yeah, he a little guy,
He
man.
carries himself like a hot dog on legs.
He's
Bro,
with
out there
his
looking like
kid. He don't
Hurricane
want
waiting to get
problems,
robbed.
man.
Yeah, the average person ain't a tough guy, man. Let me hit the
side of Logan Square Manufacturing Company. Right now, police are also looking for more suspects.
Jewel Hillary is joining us now from Area 5 Police Station with details on this. Jewel.
Hi, Lourdes and Ray. So it was a frightening and intense start to work yesterday for some Pierce Manufacturing Company employees. When they headed in to start their shift, some suspects pulled out a gun and threatened to kill them. All of it was caught on camera. And right now, we'll show you that exclusive video.
man.
Just before 6:45 Wednesday morning, a Pierce Manufacturing Company employee named Irma was stopping to get food at this food truck in the 3800 block of West Cortlandt Street. Moments later, a dark car pulls up. One person gets out and waits a few seconds before pulling out a gun on the food truck owner, frisking and robbing him.
Okay, Marcy, what do you do right here? Marcy, this guy's standing there. He's just some guy in line. You're getting some food. This guy works here. He works at the place, but you're her. And you stop. You work right here.
Yeah.
You stop right here to get some food. You see this guy, you instantly pull out and blow his brains up just for standing there, or do you try to buy some food?
I don't just pull my gun out and blow his brains out. I keep an eye out for whoever's around me, whatever's around me, whether it be a car, a person, a van, anything like that, anything that seems out of the ordinary to me. I keep it.
So what? Hold on.
What was
Tell
out of
me
ordinary
what
about
looks
this?
out of. Yeah, please explain to us what looks
This
out of the
food truck in
ordinary.
the 3800 block of West Cortlandt Street.
That they're
Moments
black?
later, a dark car.
A car. She's not even looking that way.
Right.
So I'm gonna be real though.
Gets out.
They should have been paying off the gang, whatever that gang is. They should have been paying off that gang to
These
protect
guys are
that fucking truck.
rough rats. They don't.
You could suspicious the way that car pulled up all slow and stuff.
Yeah.
I would have knew something was going down then. I would turn around there.
Come on.
And then these guys get out and leave the doors open and the car running in the middle of the street.
She's not even looking at that.
That's a
She's
flag.
buying
That's a
food.
flag, man.
That's a wrap.
Hold on. If you're buying food and you're here and you're buying food, in your mind, even if you saw that car, you think it's going down the street. You're buying fucking
No,
I can hear it, Ak. I can hear it.
I would if I was if putting myself in that situation, if I saw a car, if I hear a car, my focus is in that direction. If I see a car, first thing I notice is blacked out windows. and for also
A
cars
lot of
dark.
cars have blacked out
But
windows.
that's common though.
Everyone's
Hold up.
I know.
You guys,
everyone's an expert when the camera's on, man.
yeah,
Like
you
I
guys,
don't
you
know,
guys are
bro. I
tripping,
probably
bro.
live in
Like she's
Doritos.
probably just trying to
Monday
get
night
some food.
quarterbacking.
She's hungry.
Well, like I
She's
said-
not even thinking about anything. Not even paying attention to her surroundings. She's just trying to get some food.
Her
So she's
work,
probably not
her
even paying
job is
attention,
right
bro.
here. She works right here. This is here because this
Right.
place is
It's a
here
it's a roast
because
coach.
these people are right
It's a
here.
fucking
Yeah.
roast coach.
I understand this. I understand this is armchair quarterbacking, but I'm only saying that just knowing how I am, I just look for things like that. Anything that seems like it could be
You'll have a
potential
heart
threat,
attack
I
in
just look out
Chicago.
for it.
Okay, so what
But
would
Yeah,
you
you
have
couldn't live
done?
here, man.
You have a heart
You
attack.
couldn't live
You have
here.
a heart attack.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, not to I don't
Car,
look to Masi.
if every car drew this much attention from you, you would have a fucking heart attack and you'd be gray next time you came on this fucking show. You'd be fucking gray as shit, like you were president for 15 years.
There's 5 million people in that city right there, bro. And in
Yeah.
Logan Square, that shit's packed as hell, man. Like
I mean,
I hear you, Mozzie, but like that shit is fucking
right,
Yeah, I
exactly.
couldn't
bro.
survive in
Right
this
now,
city.
we'll show you
Yeah.
Yo, with all due
exclusive
respect to
video.
Masi, right? Tell me you're not in the rag without telling me you're not in the rag.
6:25 Wednesday morning, a Bierce manufacturing company employee named Irma was stopping to get food at this food truck in the 3800 block of West Cortlandt Street. Moments later, a dark car pulls up. One person gets out and waits a few seconds before pulling out a gun on the food truck owner, frisking and robbing him.
The guy put the gun to the guy to sell food and then said, "Give me the money." And then I said, "Oh my God, for you?"
2 other suspects get out of the car. One gets away with Irma's purse. Understandably, she says the traumatic turn of events has her on edge coming to work now.
No, I feel really nervous to come here.
As 2 of the suspects focus on the food truck, a third suspect sees another woman behind the truck sitting in her car.
When the guy see me,
They should have just shouted, "Black Lives Matter." Maybe they would have left them be.
Man, she's stupid. She's supposed to spare it off.
Fly, 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 dead.
He probably didn't even see it. It's possible you could not see this.
For sure. You probably
How she not? The car was pulling up slow on the side of her.
The guy had jumped out already.
Cars everywhere in Chicago.
And the guy had jumped out
Pay
already.
attention to every car.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm thinking from a Memphis mindset because Memphis is smaller. So
you can't pay attention to every fucking
It's a big city, bro.
Man, there's 2 cars. There's 3 vehicles involved in this scenario. This ain't rush hour, bro. This is 6:30 in the fucking morning on a slow street.
Bro, Chicago is you got New York, LA, and Chicago, man. That shit is big, bro. It is fucking packed.
You know what I would have done, Chief? And I don't want to like sound like I'm just like bogus, right? But what I would have done is I'm there and I always got my gun on me. I would have seen that young brother, and I would have immediately kept eyes on him with my pistol in mind. Not that I'm gonna hurt him, but I might have to. And you don't even gotta be a brother.
How quick he pulls out the gun. Look how quick he goes from being just some sun man standing there towards a gun in your face.
Yeah,
And
but
now,
do you see her? Do you see those 2 people, Chief? They put their back to the brother.
A few seconds before.
why not? Brothers come up and buy food all day.
But Logan Square is nice though, bro. Like
I
Logan
said,
Square is
Chief.
like gentrified.
But
Hey,
believe it or not, like I said, Chief.
Ak, would you put your back to him?
Brothers come up and buy food all day. I put my back to brothers all the time. All the time.
I know,
I'm not just like that'll get you in trouble.
Yo,
You know what I'd have done? I'd have got
That'll
robbed.
get you in trouble.
Maybe I'm traumatized, Chief. Call me crazy.
Let me tell you something, Marcy. Eyeballing and looking at niggas all funny in DC get you in a whole lot of trouble. Okay? Fuck you. Look, fuck, what's up?
it sure get you in trouble with me.
What?
Because I don't like to get stared at.
You ain't gotta stare at somebody to keep an eye on them.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I don't care if they are
Especially when
white,
a glider
Spanish,
woman
if it's
staring
a
at me.
duck,
That
it's a
really
duck,
pisses
Chief.
me off.
Look at this.
Pulling out a
Watch
gun
how
on the
quick.
food truck owner.
It's just that quick. It's just that quick. He's some sun man standing there waiting to get some tacos.
Waits a few seconds before pulling out a gun on the food truck.
Boom, it's a gun in your face. Now what you gonna do? You gonna roundhouse kick the gun out of his hand, take it because you don't run behind here for cover and have a shootout with these two. I mean, come on, man. Like sometimes there's nothing you can do, and that's why they come like that. That's why they do this because they know there's nothing anybody can do about this.
No, there's it's not that there's nothing that anyone can do. It's just that it's at that point, it's up for grabs.
But even the gangs ain't tight though, bro. Like back in the day, the gangs used to have that shit locked up. Like you couldn't rob cats because they was getting paid off. But like even that is done.
Yeah, there's no structure over here, bro.
And I used structure over here. I used to work late night by myself at a hot dog shop, and I was out, and I was instructed to, if something happened, give up the money. And I said, well, wait a minute, I don't know if they'll ever be satisfied with that. Because there was a disagreement between my manager and I about me carrying at work.
Oh.
The owner was fine with it. He had no problem, but she thought it would look bad with other customers seeing that. And I said, well, I'm working by myself at this place late at night. I don't know even if I did give up the money in the register, I don't know if I can't take that as a guarantee that I'm going to be safe. So that's why I think that's why I had the thought of, I don't know if giving up, I don't know if not fighting back is guaranteed to work, but fighting back has potential of working.
These people are not fighting back. These people are fucking buying food and they gun in their face. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not fighting back. This is just a fucking dude just standing there, and the next second he got a gun in your face.
Just give him the money and so you can live. That's all you can do. Just take that L.
Also, I was speaking on
there's no
burrito
guarantee
gangs too.
you're going to live. There is no guarantee you're going to live. And we've seen that over and over again.
Well, just make sure you live your life right every day.
Two of the suspects focus on the food truck. A third suspect sees another woman behind the truck sitting in her car.
When the guy see me, he come to run and say, open the window, I kill you, I want to kill you.
In shock, Patricia made a split-second decision not to roll down the window.
When the guy came to me, I said, what I can do now is open the door or no. It's the big decision.
During the horrific ordeal, the suspects also threatened the food truck owner's wife sitting in the truck's front seat before putting a gun to her husband's head. Thankfully, no one was injured.
Something else has to be done to make these streets safer for people. There's a lot of kids around here.
Bill Ackerley, operations manager for Bierce Manufacturing, says everyone at Bierce is like family, and he's beyond grateful no one was physically hurt.
When you come here and see their faces and see everybody's okay, that was a big relief.
Now, employees
Shout out to all
to
the
say in
burritos.
Bierce Manufacturing, there are several schools and residents in the area, and they hope that police will beef up patrols in the neighborhood. Additionally, management for Bierce says, in addition to having lights around the building, cameras, and then walking employees out when it's dark, they're going back to the drawing board to figure out additional ways to help employees feel as safe as.
I need to let that guy pull in the building.
Yeah, them burrito gangs in LA used to keep that shit safe to get tacos late night, bro. So shout out to them cats.
One of the first things they can do to keep employees safe is stop listening to the dumbass employees that are yelling for defund the police. Matter of fact, they should take a poll of the employees who wanted that shit, and all the ones who said they wanted it, they should fire them.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's harsh, but
let's face it, man. Most of the people working in there ain't even citizens, so.
Yeah, and then there's that.
Yo, Mayo, somebody's got to work, right?
Oh, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Me
most
too.
of them aren't citizens, and most likely they wouldn't vote for defunding the police.
Yo, but I'm just saying
were.
too, Mayo. Somebody's got to work, right? Who's gonna work, Mayo?
Those three guys out there.
Are the gliders gonna work? Oh my God!
Oh, they're gonna work. They'll work. They're working rapidly.
I don't even carry cash on me. Like in Memphis, I wasn't carrying cash on me. So like, if a Negro was to steal my purse, okay, you got my debit card. What you gonna do? I'm gonna call my bank, shut it off, get my money back.
You got Cash App on your phone?
Yeah, that's probably what they do. They tell you
that's what they do.
Okay, probably ain't no money in the account anyway. So what?
They don't care. They're
don't
probably
get declined.
Could kill you.
But still, still don't guarantee that they won't kill you.
Yeah.
Just be ready every day, y'all. Everybody listen. Just be prepared. One day we all gonna die.
Give me another city, guys.
I would have gone to Plan A, Chief. I would have started yelling, "Black Lives Matter."
BLM.
No, I think you would have capped them.
Or they would have capped me. I mean, you just never know with these things, right, Chief?
No, I think you have more. I think you have more scruples than that.
You did Augusta the other day.
That thing did make me appreciate all the gangs in LA that kept that shit real tight, man.
Man, structure is not a thing that you're gonna find with every black gang, man. Is just guy.
It's just neighborhood crews now. That's
anybody
all.
Anybody can be the leader on any given day or any given month. Let's see. Okay. Watch out for this, fellas.
And a Las Vegas woman has been arrested after allegedly stealing a $230,000 watch from a hotel guest in September. 34-year-old Priscilla Cueva facing charges of grand larceny and conspiracy to commit larceny. Police say the victim invited Cueva and another woman up to his room. The victim says he took off his watch and put it in his luggage. He told police he later realized
he took off his watch in front of them.
Prostitutes and GHB right there, bro.
Jesus.
his watch was gone after the women left. Cueva has been released on bail and is expected in court in April.
Jesus Christ. Took your watch in front of them.
That mother was a glider. She did that too.
The son man, that's a son.
Some man would have caught and beat us.
I made friends with some Armenian gangsters, and I gave them some GHB, and they just robbed everybody with it. They would drug them and get watches off of all of the rich guys. They give them to the hookers. They put in a drink, and it knocks them out.
Wow.
Well, they shouldn't have been out looking for hoes then.
Expensive, right?
Well, and most of them aren't going to. So most of them aren't going to go to the cops because they're married.
Well,
no, you just got. You got to take that on the chin.
That's what you get for committing adultery.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah, it comes in a little jar, like comes in a little vial, like as small as a $5 energy drink.
And Metro Police accusing this man of drinking and driving, crashing, and killing a woman riding in his car. It happened early on Christmas Day near North Shore and Lake Mead Parkway. Police, again, were repeating this story. 21-year-old Milton Martin Enriquez admitted to drinking. They found open containers in his car.
Enriquez, that's a goddamn burrito. You taking that L, Ricky? That's for y'all, man.
Yo, it's both of us on burrito, Chief. It's both of us.
You tell, man, he look like a goddamn Aztec, man.
You know what? Fuck it. We'll take it. Off the strength, we'll take it.
Yeah, man. Let's see.
Plus, we do DUIs, right? So.
Las Vegas family is asking for help in getting any information that could lead to the arrest of a person who killed their loved one. The deadly stabbing happened in late November near Bonanza near Maryland Parkway. 4 children now do not have their father. Joshua Peguero spoke to the family. They say they hope someone might know something.
The information they've been giving us has been somewhat vague.
The family of Marco Hornsby is at the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. Mario Hornsby is looking for an update on the stabbing that took his brother's life.
They tell us they have a suspect. We don't know who the suspect is. The issue right now is locating the suspect.
In response to the Hornsby family's concerns, Metro Police tell me an arrest warrant has been issued. Marco's death has left a hole in his family that is being felt especially during this holiday season.
He was always one of the first ones to get that phone call in the morning to wish you a happy holiday or a happy birthday or just see how you was doing.
The Hornsby family says they just want answers on what happened that night, November 23rd, that led to the 39-year-old's death, and they're asking the public to come forward with any information so they can get some closure. Here's what police tell us. There was a fight with another man at Marco's apartment, and he ended up getting stabbed. The person who did it left the area before police arrived. Howard Hornsby says he was with his son a few hours before he was killed.
Me and him was close. He always called me. We ride and go do what we have to do and stuff. And it's kind of hard.
The family wants answers and asks if you know anything, call police or even Crime Stoppers, as you can report tips anonymously.
Nothing is going to.
Wow. Las Vegas. Oh, so there's nowhere to go, man. I mean, there's nowhere where
Iceland.
Let's see this.
That's where I would go.
Some new details now this morning after 3 deadly car crashes around the valley in as many hours.
4 people lost their lives, 2 of them near the Fremont Street Experience.
Hey, that's crazy, man.
An arrest report is laying out the moments leading up to a grisly crash that claimed the lives of 2 little girls. Alcohol and lack of child car seats played a major role.
Those closest to the toddlers torn up over a loss they feel could have been prevented. Madison Kimbrough live near Lone Mountain in Clayton after talking with the girl's father.
People still reeling over this tragedy, and as you can see behind me, a memorial for the 2 girls, the 2 toddlers. And tonight we've obtained more details into the aftermath of the crash. North Las Vegas police releasing the arrest report in the crash that killed 2 young girls just over a week ago. In the report, it states that the children's aunt, Kalia Manning, was allegedly driving drunk with the children's mother, Raynisha Washington, knowingly riding along in the passenger seat.
So she's drunk. The mom knows she's drunk, and she's riding the passenger seat, and the kids are unsecured.
And then they survive.
That should be murder. That should be murder charges.
Yeah, these people are fucking sick. These people are killers. You got kids. You're driving around drunk.
But in other countries, that's not out of the out of the ordinary, right, Chief?
Seat. Tavon Wilmer, the girl's father, saying this to 8 News Now.
Keep your kids safe. Don't drink and drive.
Neither of the toddlers, 2-year-old Rosemarie and 3-year-old Taylor Wilmer, were in proper car seats at the time, as reports show that Washington claimed that she had recently sold them. Rosemarie's babysitter having this to say at Saturday night's vigil.
I took care of her on numerous occasions myself. Me and my mother took turns taking care of her. And it was really heart-crunching just hearing and seeing what took place.
In the report, police stating that when they approached the car, Rosemarie's body was found outside, while Taylor's body was lying inside. The children's aunt, according to the report, was found conscious and shaking the children's mother, Raynisha Washington, who was unconscious in the passenger seat. And police say a strong odor of alcohol could be smelled from the driver's area, as Manning's eyes were bloodshot. Manning suffered a ruptured spleen and internal bleeding, and Washington suffers a ruptured bladder, spinal and hip injuries, a broken femur, and internal bleeding. The children's father telling 8 News Now that he does not fault Washington or Manning for what happened.
I never judge you for what you did. I know you love your kids.
I'd be pissed, man.
He must not be involved in their life.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, he probably like, yes, finally, no child support.
Right.
God damn.
That's a hell of a statement, Chief.
Yeah, that's
Jesus Christ.
Crazy. Like, how do you, what?
But if a cop did something, just forget about it.
Maybe, you know what? I think people, when they say these things on camera, I think they're just in a state of shock. But I think once he see his babies in that casket dead, it's going to hit him. And then that anger going to come out for real.
I think that boy got about an 80 IQ.
No, I'm serious. Some people say things when stuff first happened because that's how they think they feel. But once it hits the fan, they see their loved one in their casket dead, then I think his feelings gonna change.
I bet he was more mad when he saw on his phone the video of George Floyd. I bet he was more mad about that.
He don't know George Floyd. Maybe, I don't know. I'm telling y'all, bring up that nigga name. He dead. I'm telling about George Floyd.
Hold on, Brown Sugar. People was mad about that. They burned cities down for that.
Yeah, everybody. I wasn't mad about it, so I can't say. Right. Maybe he was.
You were a unicorn though. People was mad about that. They burned cities down across this fucking country. So this guy right here, I guarantee you, from the statement he just said, he was more angry about that motherfucker overdosing.
Yeah, no doubt. Of course.
I couldn't even stand up and talk on camera. Like I would be passed out. I would be passed out on the street in cardiac arrest if that was my children.
All strung out on Xanax and shit.
Right. Like it's just weird. Like the way he's talking is just bizarre.
Washington, the toddler's mother, stating that she witnessed her friend and sister finish an entire bottle of tequila before the crash. Now, when the police questioned Manning about how much alcohol that she consumed, she said that she had 2 shots and that she thought she was fine. Reporting live, Madison Kimbrough, 8 News Now.
We can all.
Jesus Christ.
They do this all the time, I bet.
Yeah, it just struck out.
And then he's probably not gonna blame him because he probably know that they drive around their kids not secure in their car like that and just never really said anything.
Still though, they're dead. Like I wouldn't care what I did. You know, like it doesn't matter what you did. Like both his children are dead, and they died a brutal. Like he's not thinking like how they died horrific deaths.
Terrible.
And it's like, oh, I forgive them. Hey, you see the game last night? LeBron was doing his damn thing, right? Like, I mean, like, what's going on, man? Like, what's up with these people, man?
There's probably 20 agencies in Las Vegas that will give you a free car seat if you ask for it.
DHS gave her a freaking car seat.
I mean, I know the Goodwills here don't even sell them. They just give
Denise
them
New
away.
at 6 Metro is looking for this man. They say he robbed someone at gunpoint. Police report the robbery.
Marcy, how quick would you have taken him down? 5 seconds or 8 seconds?
I think
Police report the robbery happened last Thursday morning near Rainbow and Washington Avenue. Metro says the man is 5'8" with a medium build and was last seen wearing a rubber mask and the clothes you see in that picture. If you know who this is, call police or Crime Stoppers.
Well, he got a rubber mask on. He got
Well, when you're in
those black
Denise, this story broke my heart.
Yeah,
I think he got an airsoft rifle too.
This just really broke my heart. Make me want to cry.
How old were they, bro? I don't remember. They said toddlers, right?
Yeah, they was like.
Yeah, they were babies, toddlers. Like it's piss. It make me mad. Like I really want to go to the hospital with their mama and beat her ass. Like I'm so mad for real. I'm really pissed off.
They're honestly people that deserve to be in jail. There's some.
I'm really pissed off about that.
Yeah, give me another city, man. That shit is. Salute. Salute to everybody joining us. We got 500. You said what?
San Antonio? I don't know.
We ain't been there in a while. We check out San Antonio. It's a very low sun population there, so it really rarely as you see it. Like you'll say it's boring.
Hey, but Chief, securing kids in the car. I'm telling you, like when I went to Mexico recently, I was surprised. I had my 2 kids with me, and they were like, secure them. What do you mean? You know, like that's how they. Not everybody does that. I know we enforce that here.
Oh, how about just don't drink and
Mexican.
drive?
Them ladies wasn't Mexican.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
just don't freaking drink and drive with your baby.
What I'm saying though is, there's some people, right, and them not having the kids secured. I'm sure in Africa they're not doing the securing kid thing either. You know.
Bro, you know she was complaining like, I can't even taste this drink, man.
Oh no, I knew as soon as 2 kids were unsecured in the car, I knew it was either Umbrito or Sunman.
Right. I mean, I'm not justifying it. I know we're in.
I don't know because gliders don't secure their kids either, though. They don't. I secure my gliders, like the bad gliders, though.
I secure my shorties. You got to.
Toddlers.
Man, we used to roll deep, bro, back in the day.
Them strong guy gliders don't care about their kids. They just throw them in the car.
Put them in the back of the truck. Let's
go. I get older kids like when they're like 5, 6, 7. I guess some people get lax with that stuff, but little toddler kids, I don't know. You're drunk. Listen, man. When they said unsecured, they might not even have had seatbelts on. And then plus those kids, those little girls look too small for a seatbelt. But anyway, man, let me move along. San Antonio.
To rob an armored truck this morning goes off without a shot being fired in Converse.
Yeah, the armed robbers got away with a lot of money and left behind suspicions. This could be related to other recent and very similar robberies. Garrett Berger with where it happened adds to those suspicions.
Police say the armored car and its 2 guards stopped at this AutoZone off FM 78. While 1 guard was inside, thieves were able to get inside the armored car. They forced the driver to leave and drive down Crestway Road. They ended up here, pulled off along Walnut Basin at the edge of a neighborhood.
Converse police think the crew of up to 4 armed robbers had a getaway car. They left without firing a shot, though they did give the guard minor injuries.
Apparently, he was actually struck with one of the suspect's weapons. I'd be speculating if I believe that these people or the suspects, if you would, have had any prior involvement in crimes such as this one.
But this is not the first armored truck robbery in the area. It's at least the 3rd since late August, along a less than 3-mile stretch of FM 78. The other 2 were on the San Antonio side. In August, 2 men robbed a driver for $292,000 while he was making a cash drop at Chase Bank. That's resulted in at least 1 arrest so far, though he was released on bond. Then, 2 weeks ago, at the same bank, 3 men robbed an armored truck driver in the drive-thru. Converse police not ready to connect them all just yet, without more information on the other investigations.
Although we do believe the way this one was facilitated, if you would, it is quite similar.
But Shook said they would be working with San Antonio police, and he said the FBI is also involved.
That's an inside job.
I know it sounds crazy, but I'm way happier about that than a pizza place or some shit. Like, at least you get some money.
Yeah, that's a big score. Yeah.
Well, nobody got killed.
Yeah, no bullets fired. Let's see this one right here.
When you got buddies that do like
San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers asking the public to get some help in locating a suspect accused of robbing a Wingstop at gunpoint. It happened back on November 5th at 4622 West Commerce Street. Police say the suspect was looking through the front window of the Wingstop restaurant when he saw money being counted. That's when the suspect ran in, demanded the cash, and then pointed a gun at the victim. The suspect took the money, took off. If you have any information, you're being asked to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-ST.
I mean,
that sounds like an inside job too.
Nah, that's some homeless dude.
Yeah, that sounds like a crime opportunity, man.
You see outside that look next to the other one? That one look cool as
I don't know. You could call somebody, be like, "Hey, I'm gonna count this money." Let me go in the front and count it. And when you see me count the money, come in and grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Now to a developing story we've been tracking overnight. A woman's in the hospital after getting shot in the leg. San Antonio police say it happened along the 1000 block of San Fernando Street on the west side near Apache Creek. A woman in her 50s was taken to University Hospital and is going to be okay. SAP believes an ongoing problem between apartments could have led to the shooting, but so far there is no word on suspects.
Hello, everybody. Stefania Jimenez here. Thank
Wow,
you so much
man.
for watching.
Whatever the fucking name is. Give me another city, man.
I'm in Michigan, bro. I don't know if y'all ever did that one.
Did you say Michigan?
I said Memphis.
Oh yeah, I like Memphis. That's always good.
Memphis is the gift that keeps on giving, man.
Yeah, Memphis, Philly, and Baltimore, man.
Yeah, Memphis is like yikes, man. I mean, it makes you like, how does that city? How is it still like? Oh God, here we go.
North Memphis.
Let's start.
A community is in pain after a staple was shot and killed.
Even when it hurts, these young dancers are always moving with purpose, using their passion to transform their pain. With each move, they're honoring the life of 60-year-old Juanita Washington, who was murdered last December. Before her death, she was the head administrator at LYE Academy.
I want to support Auntie Juanita, and we really miss her. We're dancing for her to support her and letting her know that we love her and still have her in our hearts.
Washington's killing left many children, like 8-year-old Zamira Bankhead, heartbroken.
I felt very depressed and sad.
Memphis police say Washington was shot in broad daylight at a Walgreens in Parkway Village. At least one arrest has been made in the case. Still wondering why, LYE Academy founder Ladia Yates organized a Stop the Violence Expo on the 1-year anniversary of Washington slaying.
Stop the Violence Expo, man.
Where's this at? What city?
This is Memphis. I mean, I just don't understand. I think they're just doing this. This is part of like the commemoration of this woman. This does
that
nothing.
dancer ain't gonna do shit but sell some Mickey Mouse gloves.
Hey, this is copium at its best.
Exactly.
Yeah, they just coping.
Violence Expo on the 1-year anniversary of Washington slaying.
We had a very emotional rehearsal last night. We cried. It's still fairly hard, but we are pushing through.
From information on gun safety to vendors and a talent show, the goal of the event
What do you think
was to
he's
promote.
rapping about up there? you think that's what he's rapping about?
I doubt he probably rapping about God and stuff like that. They're not gonna. These people not gonna let nobody come up in there on it. I'm telling you.
Well, he's a king, so yeah, he may be rapping about.
And he rap about woke stuff.
You know, he's got like one song for the hood, like uplifting shit. And then
Yeah,
the rest is selling
woke.
Right, we built the pyramids.
Or he rapping about
Talent
Jesus
show.
or something.
The goal of the event was to promote positivity in young people.
The message is stop the violence, whether it's laying down guns, whether it's telling your friend who was about to get in the midst of.
Hopefully they may see some vendors or some of the performances that they like, and it may inspire them to, go that direction versus robbing, stealing, killing.
So seeing some of these performances will stop people. Oh, damn!
Smash bang.
Interpretive dance always changes people.
I got distracted for a second there, guys. My bad.
Now, Yates says while there has been an arrest in this case, she would still like answers as to why Washington was murdered. She's hoping justice will be served. Now reporting live downtown, Bria Jones, WRC.
Bria don't never have a coat on. It don't matter if it's snowing or raining. She never have a coat on.
Natural insulation, man.
Yo, Shaggy in the back, Chief.
I added Shaggy like 50 times, man, to here, man. This is the 50th time I added you, Shaggy, right?
Yeah, you ain't lying, bro. Yo, there's two exit screens. I'm in the back chatting, and there's 2 X's on my screen. I keep hitting the wrong one.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So what's going on, man?
I'm coolin', man. I'm good. What's good with everybody? How y'all doing?
Ain't nothing, man. Memphis, man.
That was a fucked up story, Chief.
People come to get killed.
Fucking Memphis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she gay, y'all.
He gave it a motherfucker.
You think?
She real gay.
People come to get killed. But nothing. Ain't we tired of getting killed?
Selena Brackett, like many Memphians, is tired of the violence plaguing the city of Memphis.
They're killing babies, they're killing old folks.
Memphis police say they've responded to nearly 300 homicides this year so far. One of the latest killings happened about a block away from Brackett's home. MPD says the shooting happened shortly before 2 a.m. at the intersection of Brown Avenue and North Watkins in the Valentine Evergreen neighborhood. Officers lasered in on this burgundy vehicle, which was riddled with bullet holes, sitting at the stop sign.
And it's a lot of gliders over there,
Police have
too.
this intersection blocked off for hours. I spoke to several people who live in this area. None of them wanted to go on camera, but they tell
When your news lady name is Kwamitra, yeah, it's a wrap.
Like, okay, so like on the other side behind those apartments you go down, it's like some old houses, so it's a lot of gliders over there.
They got money though, or not really?
Yeah, they got money. It's Rose College is over there.
Oh,
so that's why it's a lot of gliders.
Is this all public housing here? All these apartments?
Yeah, that was public housing.
On
That's
kind of weird.
But they tell me it's believed the person who was shot and killed is from this community. Police have not released any suspect information.
Good brother, man.
He's trying to not be the next motherfucker, right? Chief?
He just, this is a brother. This is Mosey, down the street. Mossy would pull out a gun and shot him just to be raped.
That's foul, man.
I mean, you gotta keep an eye on him, man. You never know, man.
Damn.
Yeah, you got to keep a sight on him.
Information, but with the gunman on the run, people in the neighborhood.
Mossy, man, what about this guy?
That's the guy you keep. That's the guy you keep an eye on right there.
Mossy would have painted the wall with this guy, man.
Those people, those the least dangerous people. I'm telling you, those like winos and crazy folks.
She ain't lying. They make mosaics of these type of people though. No lie.
So they were running to Cleveland, turns to Cleveland. Cleveland is where runs through the medical district. So that's where all the mentally ill people at.
Neighborhood are on high alert.
I get so tired. Turn on the news. It's all out here. Or somebody got killed out here. Somebody got killed here. Somebody got killed here. Oh, I'm scared to go outside here.
Reporting from North
Right.
Man.
She lying. She probably at TCU every weekend.
What does she mean, day, Ike?
I need that drop, man. That's hysterical, man.
What's wrong with us, man?
Somebody got killed here. Somebody got killed here. Oh, I'm scared to go outside here.
Kodak Black.
Yeah, all right. But the honesty, man, it's the honesty for me, man.
You
I get so tired. Turn on the news. It's all out here.
Yeah, coolness.
Or somebody got killed out here. Somebody got killed here. Somebody got killed here. Oh, I'm scared to go outside here.
Reporting from North
They get Memphis Dictionary.
News Channel 3.
But the one glider that shot Shorty that was shooting at whatever. Right, stop it. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, right.
All right, thank you, Jim. Breaking news in West Memphis, where police have arrested 3.
Okay. The standard of beauty is winning. She out there, a little Jatavia. This is just, I've never seen that name. And sisters, you can't compete with this.
She living her best life, Chief.
She could have. I'm telling you, they could have them. Like, have them, y'all. Get them.
Yeah, they can have them.
They can have them. I don't care.
Police have arrested 3 people in connection with the murder of a 21-year-old man. Jatavian Ross is charged with capital murder, along with a 15-year-old male. Stacy Brown is also under arrest and charge. Now, police say the victim, Samuel Johnson, was shot multiple times at a busy intersection. WREG's Mike Sirianni talked with the victim's stepfather, who is shocked and dismayed about what happened.
I mean, he never bothered anyone.
Who believes that?
That's a goddamn lie.
I don't know.
Nobody never.
You believe that? He
never
never bothered
nobody.
Okay.
I mean, he
It don't
never,
take much in the Sun community.
And why would anybody take his life like that?
Jimmy Fletcher is stepdad of 21-year-old Samuel Johnson, shot multiple times.
He look like he might not.
Yeah, I don't see nothing in his face that says that he.
It's the glasses, man.
Just him being who he is pissed somebody the fuck off.
He do seem like the cool, like the nerdy guy that don't
exactly like take off type, like take off almost. You know,
I wonder what happened. That's crazy.
Low-key,
Like
like
Tuesday, near the intersection of Ingram Boulevard and East Barton Avenue. Fletcher says the young man was walking from a convenience store just a couple of blocks away when he was struck by gunfire and later died.
I don't know what could have sparked it.
He was struck by it could have been some shooting at other people.
Some man missed his target.
Hey, what about those detectives? Salute to them, man. Fucking hats off.
Yeah, man.
Or just a couple of blocks away when he was struck by gunfire and later died.
I don't know what could have sparked it, man. I don't know. All I know, he was going to the store like he normally do. Come back. But he didn't come back.
Fletcher says he rushed to the
So why
scene
you
and
say he
found his
came back?
stepson lying in this grassy median, clinging to life.
Yeah, shot in the leg. And I think they was sad. I'm trying to tell them to calm down. But then when he got to the hospital, they say he didn't make it.
Samuel Johnson worked for a short time at DC Professional Lawn Care, where owner Darren Chrisley described Johnson as a good kid.
You know, I went over this morning to pray with the family, with the mother and the family, to share my condolences, but I was hurt to the heart.
Chrisley knows the feeling of loss after his 55-year-old sister-in-law, Donna Chrisley, was murdered in her West Memphis driveway in late October. Lorenzo Allen was captured a month later and charged with her death.
God damn, man.
What do you think he was buying? What do you think he was buying at that store to get shot?
He was buying fucking...
I don't know. He
Whatever
was
she was
selling
selling.
chips, a Black and Mild, a beer.
You know,
This was sold in the neighborhood. Whatever
he
you
knew
want to
about
buy.
he knew
Some
about
milk,
Black Panther before
probably.
anybody
A
did
burr?
too, man. You know, he looked like that nerdy type of fella.
He probably, you know, some man could have had a running gun battle on the street and he got hit. I mean, that kid, listen, man, look at this guy. This guy, like everybody down there is fucking death.
Johnson as a good kid.
You know, I went over this morning to pray with the family, with the mother and the family, to share my condolences, but I was hurt to the heart.
Chrisley knows the feeling of loss after his 55-year-old sister-in-law, Donna Chrisley, was murdered in her West Memphis driveway in late October. Lorenzo Allen was captured a month later and charged with her death. Chrisley says the only way to survive these kinds of tragedies is by leaning on God for strength.
We're going to have to open up our eyes. We're going to have to open up our hearts and allow him to come in.
In West Memphis, Arkansas, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
I know
And
that's
Samuel
right.
Johnson.
Hey, I want to address this good kid thing, right? There was a shooting here in Wichita. This dude put 13 bullets in a 17-year-old girl and another 7 into a dude. And everybody on Facebook saying, oh, he's a good kid. Oh, he's a good kid.
It's relative. And don't you know that everything is relative? Did you know the theory of relativity?
Oh, yeah.
I could go out and do the same thing, and guess what my family friend's gonna say? She's a good
funny.
person.
Yeah.
She's
Yo,
a
he did
wonderful
look-
person. She's loving. She's caring. She
He
loved
looked
the
nerdy, though.
Lord.
That
I
guy
mean,
looked nerdy.
that's just what people say.
Yeah, he looked like a cornball. Like
But
not
is it
to
true?
shit on the dead, but like he didn't.
you
look
say
It's
like
go to
true,
Michigan?
but I'm just saying,
like
I
a
can
regular
go do
dude.
something terrible, but it's still gonna have something good to say about me.
Did you say go to Michigan, Razzle?
Man, I think they hide that shit in Detroit, bro. Because you couldn't find shit, and then I had to dig. I was like, no, shit goes on. So I was just that's just where I'm at. But you can go wherever.
Are you
wherever.
from Detroit, dude, or what?
I'm Pontiac, bro.
Oh, okay. So you're right there down the street
What's
from
that
me.
all Muslim
Yeah.
town
That's
in
Dearborn,
Dearborn.
man.
You
That's
you
where-
right by
yeah.
Big
Innate
Dearborn.
Ways.
Yeah.
You're right
Yeah,
by
check
Innate Ways,
Dearborn,
right?
man.
Ford ain't like them Jews, and the Jews crew end up getting all Muslims over there, bro. It's crazy. It's like you don't see no gay bars over there. I'll tell that much.
Are you a glide?
I'm a linguini glider.
So you right by Innate Ways.
I'm right in the mix. I get to see a little bit of everything.
Well, you know Innate Ways, right? From the Ag
No,
Nation.
I didn't know. No, I don't know about innate ways. I thought you said you about to lay
No,
waste.
no,
I
no,
was
no.
like, yeah, we lay waste to everything.
Merry Christmas to you, dog.
Thank you. You too.
What's
man.
up? What's going on, Mr. DJ Marvelous, man?
Shit, just keeping it easy and greasy.
This is a shooting, man. They looking for this guy, man.
It ain't me.
You sure?
I'm
Where
for
were
sure.
you at? Where were you at?
I was out in Ann Arbor, so.
Oh yeah, you divested, right?
Huh?
You're divested, right?
I'm a black man. A black man in a nice neighborhood. That's what I
Don't you
call
got
it.
a studio? You got a studio, right?
Yeah,
You
I got a studio.
in Ypsilanti, right?
Yep, Ypsilanti, Michigan.
All right, let's see this one.
A thief smashes their way into a local business, getting away with more than $1,000. Thanks for being with us on the
He
news show
got
at 10 o'clock.
1,000.
The surveillance video is very clear.
Right.
This thief was not going to walk away empty-handed and ended up with a big score.
Our Jacqueline Francis is live in Ypsilanti with how the community is helping
that business owner, plus the surveillance video showing how it all unfolded. Jacqueline?
Yeah, surveillance video shows the suspect trying to bust through this front door before taking to the back entrance, eventually making their way inside and robbing the place. Take a look. Caught on camera, this security footage captures someone breaking into Star Studio, a salon in downtown Ypsilanti. The owner, Angel Vanis, said at first the man wasn't successful.
He did that for about 10 minutes, and then he decided to go around back, and that's where he found the weaker, older
I know her
glass,
too.
and he finally smashed through that sucker.
Once inside, he raided the cash drawer.
Poor thing, she's so beat up. Look at her.
Walking away with $1,200.
We lost the money from the cash drawer. We were fully booked that day, so my stylist lost out on that money at $100 an hour while we were closed for hours trying to get everything repaired.
She also had to pay out of pocket to repair the doors and windows, which weren't covered in her insurance policy.
It was a lot of broken glass and broken hearts in downtown Ypsi on Tuesday morning.
That's because they don't have no
to
problems.
help cover the
The
costs.
police
So far, the
station
community
is
showing up
a
in
block
big
away.
way, raising thousands of dollars
Treated.
in less than a day.
We are close-knit here. We all know each
That's
other.
a
We
not
all
my president punker right
So
there,
why she
bro.
won't put her money in the safe at night?
Right. What the fuck? Who
Yeah,
does that?
I don't understand why
Turf.
businesses don't do that. They just leave. That's laziness, right? Just leaving it in the cash.
But listen, like the police station is literally a block away.
So what?
So,
They just feel safe.
I mean,
No. I mean,
I
no,
don't-
it's not about that. It's like literally the court and the police station and the library is across the street from this salon.
What that mean?
I mean, we had shootouts in front of the police officers. They don't care.
You would think that you would be safe though.
No.
man.
Overnight,
I remember getting
The
robbed in front
business,
of the police station.
the
I'd be like,
business.
what?
How if you got an alarm system, it should be all good.
Look at
But
her.
she ain't, obviously.
Yeah, she ain't. She got
Her pussy grabbed
$1,000
back.
lost. Like that ain't even that much. But I swear
That's a
I
lot.
didn't hear about. I didn't hear about this one. You got me on this one.
But DJ, you from the Ogg Nation, DJ. You should know that this is a bad idea.
Man, I know my town though. I didn't hear this one. It don't be
all
much
love
going
each other.
on
We all
around
take care
here.
of each other. So when something like this happens in our community, we come together.
That's a glider, though.
The GoFundMe has raised $3,000. The goal is
She already made
$6,000.
money.
The owner says already that's enough money for her to reimburse her
Like a white
stylist.
dude that stole it.
Reporting
Yeah,
live in
that's a
Ypsilanti,
glider.
Catherine Francis, Local 4.
Gliders out there rapping. Hell yeah.
Michigan, man. Michigan is another sunny town, man.
That was a glider chief that did that?
It looked like a glider from the footage.
You said it ain't a sunny town in Michigan.
No, I said it's another sunny state. Another
Oh
sunny
yeah.
state.
Well, I mean, if you go upper Michigan, it ain't.
Bro, yeah, it's country.
I have relatives in Detroit. They trying to get me to come up there. So heck
Former
no.
Tech
Detroit
quarterback J.J.
tight.
Campbell is
Detroit
in
ain't
trouble.
bad. Like we don't be having that much problems like that, even though we got Gretchen.
Really?
I'm not going to Detroit.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Chicago
about
makes me
that.
more nervous than Detroit does.
Man,
I
y'all just
told him.
know
Hell
we
yeah.
used to be the
Yeah,
murder
because
city.
Detroit
a lot of
we
used
Detroit
to-
is
about to get
abandoned.
robbed. Yeah, like Detroit.
Yeah,
is
we
like
used to have the
Chicago
murder
is-
city, but it
Yeah.
ain't nobody out there unless they coming to gamble or go to the strip club.
You said a murder or the motor?
It used to be
No,
both.
the murder city and the motor city. They was both, but Kwame
I don't know.
Kilpatrick
Former
times.
Tech quarterback J.J. Campbell is in trouble with the law again tonight after a bizarre, intense standoff with police inside an Oakland County psychiatric facility.
In a video streamed live on Facebook, Campbell can be seen holding a child and a pair of scissors as police work to de-escalate the situation. Bria Mann was in court for today's arraignment.
During his arraignment, the judge noted J.J. Campbell has 2 active bench warrants and said he posed a risk to the public. He's been charged with assault with a dangerous weapon and child abuse.
Do you understand that those are the charges against you, sir? Yes.
Former Castech quarterback J.J. Campbell appeared before a judge from Oakland County Jail, charged with 3 felonies and 3 misdemeanors after live streaming a troubling interaction with police.
And Judge, just as it relates to this particular incident, obviously there's much more that meets the eye than what the world saw by way of the Facebook Live video.
Campbell posted 2 videos from a psychiatric hospital. He had brought his daughter there to see her mother on Christmas Day, but when Campbell was unable to do that, he called police. In the video, he's holding his daughter and a pair of scissors during the confrontation with 4 police officers. Campbell was
He's holding his daughter and a pair of scissors.
And he going to see her mama at a psych ward.
Yeah,
Father of
that's
the
where
year.
I know that psych ward too is probably Havenwick or some shit. That's where all the whores used to go.
And
They got
that
molested.
kid is screwed.
You been out in that area?
Yeah.
That kid is
I
lucky.
don't even know about Oakland.
Yeah, that's like if it's in Pontiac, it's probably like off of University. At least I was back in the day. I haven't been back in years, but yeah, that's where all the crazy girls used to go.
He had brought his daughter there to see her mother on Christmas Day, but when Campbell was unable to do that, he called police. In the video, he's holding his daughter and a pair of scissors during the confrontation with 4 police officers. Campbell was arrested in the lobby of Havenwick Hospital in Auburn Hills.
You think any of those gentlemen were in fear of a battery from J. Rue Campbell sitting on the floor with a pair of kid scissors? Come on.
Campbell has
Those
a
were not
history of
kid
run-ins with
scissors.
police.
He could have killed
Went to
his
jail in
daughter.
2014
Right, what the
and
fuck
this
is he talking about?
The
Fucking
whole
stupid
point. It was
ass.
the fact that a baby life was in danger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
With
and
that fuck shit.
he called cops there when they can't fix his problem for him,
Right.
and he blames them.
Sounds about right.
But he making it seem like the police was afraid of him. No, it was the fact that he had a baby with a pair of scissors. He could have stabbed the baby. He can't see that.
Exactly.
That's the worst shit. I would hate to be a cop having to go out to a crazy person, man. That'd be the worst, man.
Remember that one cop that shot the girl that had the knife, and
That's
then
what made me think of
LeBron
that.
said,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was that
yeah,
Ohio somewhere, right?
Arab-
You're next.
yeah.
Micaiah Bryant.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, you're next.
That was a good
Yeah,
shot.
bro.
Man, that would have been his daughter. He would have been happy as hell that cop
Right.
shot that nigga.
You would think,
You
but
know what I'm
I don't
saying?
even know anymore.
Oh, come
Nah,
on.
you
Come on,
know
it's
he
just 2
would.
black girls having a knife fight, man. That's some normal shit.
Right.
Not when it's LeBron LeBron James' daughter. He would have been like, shoot that bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody talk, say something until it's their own. When it's their child or they loved one, their situation, then it's a different story.
That was a good shot though, man. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was. That was like some Matrix shit right there. That
Right.
nigga was like, wow.
That was some
bullets on that
Nazi shit right
motherfucker,
there.
right? John
I
Williams.
was impressed. He should have
Nazi-
got a raise for that.
Hospital.
Masi hit her with a shotgun, blowed her whole shit up.
Right.
He would have hit the other girl.
Shot the
He'd
knife
have
out
messed
of
the
her.
whole block up. He'd have mossed the whole block up.
Masti would have took that knife out of her hand with the
It would have shot the whole block up with the knife. The knife would have still been sturdy, but everything else would have still been.
But at least he wouldn't have hit nobody else though. I'll give him that.
throw the whole fucking black away.
Yeah, cold as ice.
Yeah, crazy.
You see this asshole
Well,
on the
fear of a
screen. You know
battery
he
from
was
J.
like
Rue
talking
Campbell
about like
sitting on
Tulsa.
the floor with a pair of kid scissors. Come on.
Campbell has a history of run-ins with
ruining
police.
Christmas.
He went to jail in 2014
He
for
just looks like the
misdemeanor
offspring of
assault
Daryl
and was
Brooks.
arrested for an incident with his girlfriend. The 26-year-old was once
But he was arrested before for. It's a bad guy. I mean, not a bad guy. Listen, I get it. You can get into it with your girlfriend. Let me give him a break.
with his
Yeah.
girlfriend. The
Can't do shit else.
26-year-old was once a rising football star playing for Cass Tech and Ferris State University.
Mental health is an issue. He's at Havenwick, okay, calling for help. I mean, if there ever was a need for crisis intervention and de-escalation,
That's your
and
lawyer?
calming touch.
He sounds drunk.
And Campbell's
Right.
bond
Or
was
a
set
stroke.
at $30,000,
He definitely
no
stupid.
cash surety. His daughter
I
is
tell
now
you,
safe staying
I
with
ain't
her
gonna lie.
grandmother. At 52nd District Court in Rochester Hills, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Hey, Priya, thanks so much. And Campbell is expected to be back in court January 10th.
He kind of remind me of Brittany Griner, Chief.
He actually kind of looked like Daryl, or Daryl Brooks.
Yeah.
Daryl
The way he's
Brooks,
got
or
his head up and shit.
He did have a little
Exactly.
Griner way
did
about
have
him.
That bold
that's
look
that
he had.
special look though.
Yeah.
You know, when you looking up
Yeah, the
and
nostril.
you
You gotta,
like
you gotta show
you
nostrils.
looking for God, but you still looking at your
Nah, you
feet
looking
at the same
he looking at
time.
he looking at the camera like he is God.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at my nostrils.
Okay,
He
you
knows
I'm
about
gotta.
telling
vision.
you, you looking at God, but you looking at your feet at the same time. That's when you know your ass is crazy as hell.
That over tough look.
Key player in the plot to kidnap
Hell
Governor
yeah.
Gretchen Whitmer will learn his sentence tomorrow in federal court.
Adam Fox faces up to life in prison after a jury reached guilty verdicts for all counts against him. Sean Lay has been closely following this case ever since the story broke. He joins us now with what we can expect come tomorrow. Sean?
That's exactly right. We've been following every twist and turn from the very beginning of this. We're talking about Adam Fox. His own defense says he called him a loner, even called him a loser, saying he had no part in this other than following the entire group towards the kidnapping of Governor Whitmer. But prosecutors say, they say Adam Fox was the ringleader and came up with the plan, now facing a possible life sentence tomorrow. This
not
is
true.
Adam Fox. He's from the Grand Rapids area and is one of the men convicted of plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Only federal prosecutors
That's
laid
all
out
they got.
mountains of evidence during 2 trials for Fox that Fox was actually the person who came up with the kidnapping plot, recruited
Ball
others
man.
to join him in the plot, trained for actually abducting the governor, and was the head
You
of
know how many
putting that
times they
plan
done showed
into
the
real
same
action. A
video?
jury in Fox's
Hey,
On
you
loop,
gotta
right?
stop speaking over the video, man. We say we go over this every single time.
Go ahead. We done seen this 20 times, so
I never played this video on
My
this
bad.
channel before, man. Relax, man.
no, it ain't this
Fox
one,
was
but
the
the same
ringleader and came up
one.
with the
Sorry, my
plan,
bad,
now
man.
facing a possible life sentence tomorrow. This is Adam Fox. He's from the Grand Rapids area and is one of the men convicted of plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Only federal prosecutors laid out mountains of evidence during 2 trials for Fox that Fox was actually the person who came up with the kidnapping plot, recruited others to join him in the plot, trained for actually abducting the governor, and was the head of putting that plan into real action. A jury in Fox's first trial could not reach a verdict. A jury in Fox's second trial found Fox guilty, which is now making life in prison without parole for Fox a very.
What do y'all think about this guy getting life in prison?
It's ridiculous.
God
I mean,
Especially
man,
since it was the FBI's idea to do
yeah,
this.
they set that shit up. Like my little cousin, he's in like the was it the Masons? They're a bunch of fucking losers, man. They're like they work at Starbucks. They can't even keep the lights on.
Don't say
Like
that too loud.
we're not making moves like that, bro. We're not master planning shit like that, man.
Meanwhile, the Indiana guy got a bond, doc, for the murder.
I think it's extreme, but if that was my mama that was trying to kidnap, I would want him to get life in prison.
Well, yeah, but
But he wasn't. His intentions wasn't never the thinking about grabbing up Gretchen. Like
Bro,
she
it's a
was
bunch.
supposed. They found some malicious crew, and they started pushing they ideal into these guys' mind and trying to make them go towards a plot. And even when they wasn't going to do it, they still kept pushing them. And then, like, it was some other stuff about some other things that they
were
want.
they entrapped? They were entrapped. Is that what you saying?
Think about it like this too.
Feds.
We're a bunch of factory workers out here, bro.
There was
Like,
it was
we're
more than
factory
just
workers.
one. It was actually 2 of them. Actually, that but the other one, I guess he I guess he didn't get put into this, or it's a separate case. I don't know, but
I thought it
know
was
that
4 of them.
no, the most of them were all FBI agents or affiliates of the FBI.
Yeah, there was more. There was more FBI paid informants involved than actual
actual people.
citizens.
Yeah,
and what
But-
they were attempting was a citizen's arrest, not a kidnapping.
But you got to understand, Michigan, like
No,
we just made
no,
cars forever, and we didn't know what to do once that shit went away. So you got a bunch of like rednecks, just we're like in a parking
no.
lot. We don't know what to do, bro.
I think that it's just because of the fact that they had locked them up there, and ain't nothing to
For
do up in
COVID. It
Butt
was over
Michigan.
COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and
it's
they
been
was
like
just
this for
like
years.
they ain't never tried to even they what was her name
Big
the
Gretch.
one not Big Gretch but Granholm when
Mm.
she did the driver's responsibility fees and all that stuff. That was worse than anything Whitmore did. I don't know.
Man,
I
I'm
fuck
just
think
that.
talking
that
about the whole city, though, man.
What
Look at
about when these
everybody.
Sun brothers kill kids and they don't get punished accordingly? I don't want to hear none of that shit.
I know this ain't nobody got killed. Nobody even kidnapped nobody. You know what I'm saying? They was pushing this agenda on these dudes and giving them all the information and how to get in there and what they plan was. And then now after when they were like, okay, I guess so, let's do it. Then they just run up on them and handcuff them. Like,
Do y'all think that the reason they so hard on like people like these gliders because they feel like that if they all come together, they can really do some damage in this country, unlike the
Hmm.
Sunman. Like a
Oh,
Sunman doing a drive-by shooting, okay, whatever. They can let him out on bond. But you get a bunch of gliders that can come together, that know how to shoot, know how to fight, that can like come up, know how to build bombs and all this stuff. They probably throw the bullet at them to
but
kill them
even
off.
well, you got a whole
even
bunch of hunters. You got a
but
whole bunch of
And yeah,
hunters
they know how to
but,
up
hunt
in
and
but
all
Michigan.
this stuff.
even they will get scraped though. Those everyone should describe they'll get scraped immediately by the government.
No, but she's saying
They
that
doing it
the
No,
right now.
reason
not
they
really.
discourage,
No.
the reason they discourage white, like the reason they act like the sky is falling every time a white man does something like that, even is remotely violent, like those guys who, what was it, Idaho? They had
Right,
Mm.
the white mask on their face. None
right.
of them were armed, and they were
It was
you
like
know.
So
Wisconsin or some shit.
so
Yeah.
I get if these gliders do an act, they're not done. They're not gonna get immediately fucking annihilated.
No,
I
hold
Exactly.
on.
think they
No,
like.
Can you
I
finish your
think
That's
they
why they're
point?
like.
clamping down.
Wait, can you please finish your point real quick?
yeah, man. I'm trying to, man. What she's saying is like if you discourage, if every time a glider does something, you put it everywhere on the news. It's the worst thing ever. Oh my God, the sky's falling. We can't have this. Blah blah blah. You create an atmosphere where gliders are less likely to do that because you know that if gliders do ever get together and mobilize, they're going to be a problem. They might not overtake the government, but they're going to be a fucking
Like,
problem.
what about the Sun
Yeah.
brothers then? That same logic. What
Nah.
about the
No
Sun
one
brothers?
cares
Nah.
about us. We just with
That's what I'm
that
saying. We
They
ain't
are a
we don't
problem, brother.
hold
They're
the
fleas.
the
They
some
are a
men don't
problem.
hold what the
No,
gliders
they're
can
not.
hold.
No, no,
no,
no.
but
Like
These
and
now we're
like
gliders are a
talking about
problem,
potential.
Mike.
No,
They're
hold on.
fleas.
So that we're talking about potential. We're fulfilling our potential, right? This is this
Which is
is the
devastating.
right, no doubt. But what I'm saying is, if gliders got together, if you had a bunch of gliders that got together, that were like fucking ex-marines and ex-cops and hunters,
Yeah.
Good
and
Like
on
folks I
computers, know how
like
to hack.
folks I grew up
yeah,
around and shit. For real.
yeah,
it'd be
bro.
like
But
the
like
18 times a million.
Oh,
you
you'd
know
be
what
dirty.
I
Oh,
They'd be
okay,
dirty
fine.
as
But
hell.
Fair
you
enough,
saw what they
Chief.
can
did
I
with
say?
Scientology.
I'm gonna shut up with this, Chief. On that, they will get shut down immediately by the government. I promise
Not
you.
Look,
That's
man,
what
I'm gonna
they
be real with you.
doing.
Yeah, initially, but that I mean I'm telling you, I'm gonna leave it at that.
It's other
But
gliders.
what I
It's gliders that condemn the other gliders, though, bro. They throw each other under the bus
I
because
Yeah,
know
but
that's what
they
I don't
it'd be the
outnumber each
weak,
understand.
other,
it'd
bro.
be brains versus brawns a lot of the
Yeah.
time. You know what
So
I
it,
mean?
See,
so it's a
but
smart nerdy ones
that's
that keep
like
their
Uncle
mouth fucking
Ruckus.
shut.
You know what I'm saying to black folks. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
feel you.
I don't care
but what I
what's
was
to
gonna,
black folks. I ain't studying black folks.
I know you
I
Exactly.
love my
Like
people,
know
but I ain't
you
studying right
I
now.
know I know, but Uncle Ruckus though would say the same thing to black folks. You see what I'm saying on this kind of concept. But what I was gonna say is, right now, by even doing this, that still is gonna make white folks pissed off.
You right, but like, look at the guy that got. He was a fucking retard. Like anybody
Okay.
that was really feeling him was not
It,
doing that
it,
shit. He was
if
fucking
they,
dumb.
anybody really know what's going on up there, like there was nothing popping. Like these people got land, they got bread. They ain't worried about nobody. They free. They ain't asking for nothing. They ain't worried about they ain't worried about none of that. And
That dude
then you
probably,
just gonna bring that shit to your house, and he gets involved with it, and he feel like y'all his friends, and he's down for y'all, because that's how they feel. You know what I'm saying? And so he gonna go ahead and run with him, and then he get set up. They got one nigga out of like one white guy. What we call him again? I forgot.
Gliders.
Gliders, yes, the
Yeah,
young gliders.
I'm gonna roll out, Chief, but let me say this, and I'm gonna head out. You don't think the Marine Corps would run through these fucking gliders in the fucking
A lot of those Marine Corps are up there.
Same guy.
Nah, but at the same, to the strength of what Wicked's saying, a lot of those dudes that I know, they ain't with that shit.
Yo, can I like look, man? A lot of cats are, but they just shut the fuck up because you lose your money. You can't pay rent.
Nah.
You can't. You lose your.
No, it ain't about losing your money. You lose everything.
That's what I'm saying. You lose your fucking everything.
That's
dog. You
true,
you
but
step
they
out of
don't
line,
lose. They
get
don't
you
lose
broke.
that. They don't lose that spirit a lot of times. Maybe their voice ain't as
They
loud
won't lose their spirit.
as it
That's
should
right.
be. They
That's
won't
true.
lose their fucking spirit.
And
You know?
I'm telling you,
Yeah, but they just be
but
quiet.
you're
Though, that's
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
a different kind of fight also. The Marine Corps trains to fight an organized force. Why do you think we got our asses kicked in Afghanistan? Because these guys disappeared into the fucking woods,
Where they
hid their
grew up at.
AK, fucking grabbed a bucket and went and got water.
Yeah, we got
The military
babies.
is one of the slowest reacting.
Bro, there's a bunch of gliders that agree with y'all, but they
Concept.
can't say shit, man. They just sit there and
I'm
mumble.
I'm black. I'm black though, so like I
Yeah.
see it from all different perspectives. Like honestly, I don't trust no color of anybody other than I guess
Right.
like nothing.
and
I
if we
don't even know.
if we had the privilege,
If I didn't do
That's
time
what I
with you, I
call
ain't doing crime with you.
Yeah, like I mean, but that's the thing about this thing with this part. These people know who that person was up there, and there wasn't no real crew of militias. Like, okay, where's all the other dudes then? You see what I'm saying? How is this some kind of crew, and there's only one dude just going to jail? That
that's why
doesn't
I
even
said
add up.
that's why I said fall guy earlier. He's the fall guy.
Man.
Those guys
Because there was
are
more
idiots,
FBI
man.
informants pushing this than actual people.
Yeah, the FBI found a couple fucking nincompoops that they put that shit on, bro. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
that's
saying.
easy,
Yeah.
and I think that was just to get her politics
reelected.
through. Well, no, not really that, because it wasn't at that time, because it wasn't midterms or anything around then. But it
Well,
was.
just setting it up, playing the long game in a little podunk town like that.
Well, it was about the whole lockdown stuff, and people were getting mad at her, and she was trying. I think she's trying to be the next vice president, or you know what I mean. So,
Yeah, it's definitely
gonna be
between
probably
her
like.
and Newsom.
I think it's gonna be Kerry Lake and Trump, and Whitmore and
Harry like a
California.
fool.
I don't think so. I wouldn't say that. I would.
They like a
I
stupid.
wouldn't. I don't know about that. That's a harsh. That's harsh.
I'm harsh. She's stupid.
I don't call nobody stupid. I may think that they may just don't know the right way to do things, but stupid. Nah, I would never call nobody stupid.
True.
Yeah.
People only as stupid as they want to seem.
Yeah, like there's sometimes where you can act stupid and you know you doing it on purpose to get them to fall into place. You know what I mean? Everything fall. I know she wouldn't be in a position that she's in being stupid.
Yeah, she's taking advantage of stupid people per se.
Yeah, but she can talk her ass off. I tell you that much. She's definitely a good person. Like if man, that would be a harsh Trump and her as a squad. I could see that for 2024.
Let me finish the video.
Very real possibility at his sentencing tomorrow. However, Fox's attorney argued that Fox was clearly a follower and not a leader in this plot, that he was unemployed, had no real plan or vision for his life, and drifted toward groups that protested COVID lockdowns at the state capitol. Fox's attorney argued that Fox admired a person who joined the plot, a veteran, and Fox did not know that person was an FBI informant. Fox's defense argued that the FBI and the informant took advantage of Fox's gullibility, and it was the informant who, they argue, truly led the training and led the plot. Fox's attorney says the plot was all talk and was never put into action. Prosecutors showed that Fox and others actually went to the governor's summer home up north to see how they could actually pull off the kidnapping.
Really a lot on the line here for Adam Fox, of course, facing that possible life sentence, and prosecutors who did not win the first trial here ended up in a couple of acquittals and hung jury in that case. But again, Fox sentenced tomorrow, bright and early. Christy in Grand Rapids will have that sentencing covered for you. Back to you.
Sounds good. And Sean, though, what about his co-defendant, Barry Croft?
Barry Croft, he's from Delaware, also traveled here, held meetings, was part of the group and the training. He's the other person convicted in the plot, and he'll be sentenced on Wednesday, also in Grand Rapids.
All right, sounds good. We know you'll be on it. Thanks so much. Sean Lay reporting tonight.
So it was two of them. Yeah, I knew it was only two. That's crazy, man.
Man, even Grand Rapids, man, we don't claim that shit.
They're putting child killers out on bond.
Look in that corner over there. Look how many people that's on that list over in the far right corner. And then there's two of them.
Yeah, facts.
But look,
that's a lot.
But they're putting child killers on the street on bond, and they got grannies who walk through the Capitol, been in jail 2 years.
They do. I want to see those grannies though, because I don't know. They don't show none of the people that's really in the that went through the Capitol that got arrested. I would like to see the list of the faces.
They won't release the video either.
You gotta look at a documentary that's out. It shows the other side of the Capitol, where it's just over the people singing songs and shit. That shit is so funny.
But that was exactly running the Capitol like that and start hitting on the window.
Well, they was opening the door and waving them in, saying like they don't care. They were talking to them and shaking their hands and saying thank you for your due. They were congratulating them. Thank you for letting us in. You know what I'm saying? And these people are just like people. You know,
I saw them climb out on a building and hit in the window.
Yeah, there were some crazy people that were doing that.
Yeah, that was 2 entrances out of 6.
Yeah, look, man, we got some glider wizards, but we also got some fucking idiots, man. And like,
there's always an idiot in every crew.
They're like at Tim Hortons hatching out plans, bro. Like, don't think that they're not it.
I was gonna say I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to arrest people just for being in the building if they wasn't doing anything. But they was climbing the building and causing damage and stuff like that. They do deserve to go to jail and get some type of.
Did you see an old lady climbing the building?
Everybody.
That's what I'm saying. If they were just in the building walking through, not doing anything, I don't think
they was walking through the little ropes and everything. Didn't touch none of the statues. Didn't destroy any of the.
I don't think it's fair for them to go to jail, but the idiots, they need to be put away.
Yeah, and most of those people are still out.
And a lot of them were FBI informant types.
Mm-hmm.
That one guy, God, what's his name?
Epps.
Ray Epps.
Yeah.
They've got him many times inciting violence.
That's
sad,
man.
No charges.
Yeah, man, they get some short bus gliders and just fucking ruin everything, man. And just fucking paint a real bad picture with it. Y'all be good. Peace.
Yeah, man, I'm out, man. See you guys tomorrow, man. Peace out, man.
Hey,
Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year, too.
Like what?